There's pictures?
That's a sound he made. That's a sound he made. You were there?
No, I wasn't there, but I wish I was.
That's pretty close.
I didn't get the invite.
Yeah, it ended quickly, trust me.
It ended quickly? Did he end up throwing up somewhere?
Just found him just squirming on my
Anthony
bathroom floor.
Ramos' recording will continue on a new track. So what the hell are you doing? Say something, fool. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Way to
go. Your lips is pink as vagina right now.
He's that kid in middle school who always has red Gatorade lips.
We can't hear you. See, I told you to invest in a mic, but you didn't want to listen. You want to run around here with this snowball.
Oh, I got this, and then I got this, but I can't use this.
Yeah, use your Shure.
I don't have the deck. I don't have the deck. My lady,
oh my God,
Jesse has it.
you guys, man! I'm about to flame both of y'all now.
Please don't shame me.
I'm about to shame Anthony right now because he's sitting around here knowing we supposed to be professional. His sound ain't even working right now. He riding around here with this old ass snowball.
He's very proud of that snowball. Easy.
I know he is. He was trying to outclass me. Like he was like, I got a good mic. And he showed this fucking snowball. I was like, bro, this is a Zoom mic. You see that? A little bit of money.
Granted, I'm gonna give him credit. You are manhandling yours. He's manhandling his too. But
I'm only manhandling mine is because I got. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Something.
I
have two mic stands, but they're too big. I need a smaller one. This one is too telescoping. It's like super big. And then my other one. Let me see my other one.
Anthony, your mic's red. Does that mean it's muted? Is there a physical button on your mic?
I don't know. He's going somewhere now.
I gotta find one cable, just one.
So the other mic
otherwise I can use this.
Is this one, and it sits my mic way too high. If I sit it on the lowest setting, it sits it like way up here. So I gotta find something that in the middle of that. So I might get one of those like telescoping.
Oh, your boy got it.
Oh, you figured it out. Look at you.
I just had to go to the settings.
Okay, actually, I just got something. All right, now we're gonna be cooking with gasoline. Give me a second.
Dude, we're cooking right now.
No.
Extra profesh. You know what I was thinking? I got a little stand for this, like I had, and boom, we're live.
Okay,
we're already live. This is just we call it struggle streaming.
Struggle streaming. I like this.
Makes us look human.
Can't all be perfect up front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, where'd the family go today? Monster Jam?
Monster Jam.
Dude.
The only ones that here is the girls. So I got.
I want to go to Monster Jam.
Karina. I got Karina, Summer, and I got Karina, Summer, and
Sorry, I forget who lives with me too.
Nah, they don't even live with me. I'm just
Karina.
I'm just a bit intoxicated.
The girls.
Oh,
you're Summer and Luna.
Luna.
Sorry,
Lana.
Lana, thank you. I was drinking a little bit too.
And then Leah, my oldest. You drinking? What?
This tequila, dog.
Wow.
Oh, really? He's committing to? Oh, you bastard! And he barely took a sip on New Year's.
Hold on. I'm gonna take a shot with you, big bro.
I'm not.
See, I always have a good time.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Brandon, now you out here whipping up some chicken, and you didn't give the one black guy you might know any of it.
That is true. You are the only black guy he might know.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Were we just talking about one of my other? Not like, oh, I have this other black guy friend. Not in that capacity, but we were talking about Ian a second ago, weren't we?
He's not black.
All right, you got me there.
Cheers. This is a little something.
He probably lying. That's probably water.
No, look at
that doesn't mean shit to me.
Dude.
That don't mean
no,
nothing.
come smell my breath. For real.
Does mean nothing. All right, are we all set here?
We're ready.
What? Yep, no sound
we
from this
lost
guy.
it.
Boy, you guys are y'all sound.
Almost there. Almost there. No, he's good. He's technical.
You know I gotta make fun of everybody. We still can't hear you. No, we can't hear you at all.
Jesus Christ.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. It plugged in, but you can't switch mics when it's recording. So
yeah, you gotta it won't automatically switch over to what the next thing. You have to literally go into the settings and then switch that you're switching it to a different mic.
Okay. Well, I'm dealing with this. You get this, but you get this, so we're good.
Yeah.
That's
keep your shirt on though, because this is not that. This is a family.
Yeah, but dude.
Nah, seriously, look at this. You're telling me?
Hey, tomorrow, my birds.
Yeah, dude, fighting for the Super Bowl spot.
Are we talking about the foosball game?
The what? The what ball game?
Your foosball game.
Oh, the foosball.
I hear you gentlemen enjoy that.
Oh my goodness, I love my football.
Good, man.
I love my
Glad
football.
You do. What were we talking about, Anthony, about football? How even though I don't watch it, I can acknowledge it's become mostly pop culture.
Yeah, it's been coming up the storylines.
It's been
really lame ones too for that. For the record.
I think football is gaining popularity because they're growing it overseas now. Because like Eagles currently have two players. One guy, Jordan Mailata, before he became a Pro Bowler, currently he never played football a day in his life. He was a rugby player, and now he's one of the best, the PFL best statistical offensive lineman in the game.
How long? How old?
He's like, I think he's younger than us. He's like 24, 25. He just signed an extension, become I think he's one of the highest paid left tackles in the league. And then this year we didn't draft it. We picked up another guy from the same place. These dudes, both of them are from Australia. Never played football. Both of them played rugby. So we got Jordan Mailata, and then we got this other dude who is humongous. I don't know what they're putting in the water over in Australia, but dude, when you can go and just pick and pull fucking 6'8" tall dudes.
Okay, I was gonna say, is he a blob huge? Because look, outside of huge means a whole lot of different things when it's outside of the U.S.
He like 6 foot, 6 foot. I think he's 6'6", 320 pounds, and runs like a running back. So
he's got weak knees. I can do it.
What are you guys grilling up tomorrow?
Who?
Growing up.
Me?
Yeah, what are you grilling up?
Oh,
no,
grilling.
I'm going to my neighborhood Eagles bar that I've been trying to invite you to. You keep ditching me on.
Okay, so
it's not ditching. He overbooks himself.
Yeah,
so
he does.
I just ditched him on accident the other day, Brandon. So you guys, it's not ditching. I promise.
Look,
I'm not doing it on purpose.
I never said ditch.
Brandon, he just don't love us that much.
That's not
true.
I
feel that.
That's not true.
But look, speaking of juicy always comes back. So that's all I know. That's all I know. Okay. It don't matter. I got nothing going on. Honestly, it gets easier after the first couple disappointments. But no, what I was telling him earlier is I think this problem is that he cares too much about everyone and he wants to divide his time, but he doesn't know how to use a fucking calendar.
Bro, I be telling him to say, I tell him to say, fuck people, bro. You ain't got to make a calendar. You ain't got to say yes to every fucking ordeal somebody invite you to. Hey, motherfucker, I can't come because I got other shit I'm doing. That's super simple. Hey, I'm super good at that shit because I tell him either. I got other shit I'm doing. I can't come.
Yeah, you've let me down many times.
I ain't let you down. I had other shit already planned. You should have called me earlier.
There's some scoring in there. Now let's get to the real shit. I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna be the observer right now.
Nah.
We're gonna unpack this relationship here.
You're not about to be a silent mammy over there in the corner. No, you about to contribute.
I want to contribute. I want to figure what this is.
Nah, I don't disappoint. I just look. I'm a first come first serve basis.
That's how you divide your time.
Gotcha. Yeah. If you come to me first, or if you come to me and one thing is earlier or later than the other thing, then I make it. But if it's all at the same time, I'm sorry. Especially if drinking is involved, because I'm not about to do
Right.
cross country trips to
Y-
go see people.
Then here's a question for you. Tell me the last time, and this is a genuine question because I've always admired people that can do this. Because I ask Anthony to get me to book something like for the very next day. I'm like, there's just not enough time. Just give me a second. I'm a guy that likes to have everything kind of planned out.
Oh,
So,
you can't last minute my ass. I'll
okay,
give you the immediate no.
okay, okay, that's good. So, but tell me though, when's the last time you had two plans in a singular day, and how'd you balance that?
Never, because I don't do the. I
Oh,
will.
I
I
thought you
will.
said like if it was. Oh, okay. I could have sworn you just
I
said if it was earlier
would.
in the day.
I would, but a lot of the time, most people want to involve drinking in a lot of the situations,
Well,
and
I
I know
mean,
myself. I'm not going to be able to function going from one venue and situation to another venue and situation, and be sociable or
yeah.
social be social with alcohol, and I'm going from party to party because you think of it like this: if I go from one event and I start off and I'm drinking and everything and I'm having a good time, and then I go to another event, people are happy to see me, so they're like, "Oh shit, KP's here. Let's give him a drink." Blah blah blah. And
Right.
it's like that the initial excitement of me being there and people trying to get you more drunk. I'm like, hey, I'm already drunk, bro. Cool out.
So it's funny you say that because of all like the only ways that I feel I'd be able to keep my social battery primed for something like that is if I was drunk, but then I would have to be hauled to the next location. As long as I'm brought to the venue or said venue comes to me, I'm cool.
I'm a
Because
functioning drunk
I'm a
now.
I, I'm a well functioning drunk. I'll let. I mean, Anthony, you've seen me. Would you say I'm functioning? I'm functioning. I'm pretty high functioning.
Yeah, when we left Spider Man, you were drunk or you were high. I was a little nervous about you driving, but
He has it
uh,
so fucking flipped. We'll never
dude,
get to
he
the
was
bottom. It's
slurring his
whatever.
words, and he was
Oh,
like, "I'll drive." I'm like, "No, dude."
Nope.
okay. It
But
wasn't. It
I
was
took
okay.
those keys away.
I'll say this. I took two edibles,
Yeah,
but
two
it was
Eddies.
after. But it was after 2 hours, and I have full record. No, no, you have no idea.
No,
You
you would
fell
have made
asleep.
it. You would have absolutely made it. I'm not saying that you would
Oh,
have
I
just
did
ruined
make it.
yourself
We got
already.
home.
Like,
Oh wait, you grabbed the keys, huh?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
drove,
wanted to.
and I
Yeah,
was a little nervous about myself because I had taken nothing. Nothing's going live on the internet.
I don't feel like that's true.
No, I took some stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just like this, bro. If the initial the first event doesn't have any alcohol or light alcohol involved, and I have another one playing later, I can do that. I
That's what
definitely
I'm
can do
talking
that.
about. Just give me one of those. Like, when's the last time you did something like that? I imagine because
That happens
you have kid,
often. That
because you have
happens often
yeah you
because
have kids, right?
yeah,
Like,
I
does
got
that
kids. I got
that'll do it?
kids, and then as although I'm not with my ex, I still have a very large family with a bunch of birthdays around. If I can make it to an event, I will go. A lot of the times, I'm giving immediate no's. So so um, a lot of time, bro, I'm trying to do. So I've been on lately. I've been on this whole creating my own circle of people. A
Yeah.
lot of my circle is involved with my ex circle, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that my circle is a lot of her family. So
Does it get near some boundaries sometimes? Like,
I'm trying to like I love them people to death,
yeah,
but I need my own because when I moved out here, I didn't have any family, so that's the people I relied on to
right.
have like social type of things, and
I
Anthony
get that.
came along with that too, and now that relationship is over, and I've been kind of prolonging keeping that around, but now I'm more and more, and that's where this podcast comes from, is me actually trying to be social, kind of large, make my social battery larger,
Yeah,
and
I
actually
respect
try
that.
to
Yeah.
grab a circle, build my own circle of people to hang out with. So I'm not always relying on doing stuff with people of her family. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times now I just do shit. When I do shit either by myself. I have a couple friends, but they kind of flake a lot of times, so I kind of do shit by myself. A lot of the time, I try to figure out shit to do. When I go to the bar, there's normally some people I would go with, but like my homeboy Argy, Anthony knows him, but he moved away, so now I kind of have no one to go with, so I kind of like do shit by myself now.
Yeah.
I kind of try to venture out on my own. So
Right.
and I decided, I've learned that these days, like, so you're kind of getting the where this podcast come from. What it's coming from is like these days, people, especially people in California, I've learned, are too like self-involved that they don't really branch out and make friends. And then you have a lot of, like, I read this article that like men are some of the loneliest people on earth.
Yeah.
Because we're not like social.
Right. Self-involved, but also in California, I just would like to also add, or just overworked to the point where like they get home, they're fucking done.
Yeah, and I was overworked a lot because I was working last year. I was working out of town most of the time. I was staying in fucking a cabin with 3 other dudes, only working every day and stuff like that. So I didn't really have time for social stuff. But that stuff started weighing on me because then I wanted to be like out and do shit, and I didn't really have people I could be like, hey man, let's go do something with. You know what I mean? My list was very short, so I was like, man, I'm gonna start a podcast, and this podcast is supposed to be this, but I can't. I talk in circles, so I was doing like the first season of this is me just talking to myself, and it's very inconsistent because I'm like, bro, I really can't keep talking to myself.
Yeah. Now, granted, I haven't seen them, but like I'd also argue, I think some people like that, just raw, unfiltered thoughts. You know what I mean? So
and that's all it was. All it was is just raw, unfiltered thoughts. It was just like a bunch of shit that I was dealing with at the time, and it wasn't like, oh, it's depressing. It's just like, I was trying to date at the time, and I was trying to get in better shape at the time and stuff like that. So
if anything, it was more like a video, like a vlog, like a journal for you, right?
That's all
this is, right?
At that time, like the first season of it. But now I kind of like created it to try to have more of a structure to it, to more have people come in, and actually create a community. Starting stuff like run. I'm going to start a running club. I'm going to start having like stuff where, hey, when I'm going out on the town, I can have the people who are local come and kick it with
like
me
little
and stuff like that.
kind of thing. Nice.
Just giving like some type of platform for people, or men mostly, can come learn something, make a friend, and then apply whatever they learned and the friend they made to a real world, and not be so fucking depressed, lonely motherfuckers that sit in their room beating their meat all day. So
that was me.
Huh?
Yeah,
so that was me.
That wasn't you. Fuck watched... you married, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
No, I watched it. It was fucking depressing. He'd invite me over, and he's just like, "You're right back, dude." I'm like, "Can you just go in the other room for a minute?" I'm like, all right, finish that. Let's turn around. It's all right.
Dude.
No, I get it. I know. I'm sorry.
This whole thing is trying to build community. Trying to get people to network, grow, learn, fucking, and be social.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what I've heard from Anthony, and then for me personally, I'm kind of in the realm where I'm just trying to tighten and just kind of keep some other muscles warm. So like in this case, like social speaking and like just kind of doing something outside my comfort zone. Right. Not necessarily with a specific goal, but like if there's anything I'd like to keep, up on, it'd probably be that.
Yeah.
Public speaking and being able to speak naturally in unnatural settings. There you go. That's
I get that, because I'm really good. Like other people who've been out with me could tell you, I can go to a bar and I'll make friends with people, and they'd be like, I've been knowing this person for years. But maintaining those things,
the maintenance is hard. Yeah. I mean, my great grandma, this is something that kind of stuck with me. She goes, at the end of the day, paraphrasing, but at the end of the day, the people that you can kind of maintain or worth keeping in your life, pretty much in that realm, are the ones you can count on your fingers. Right. And I kind of, in a lot of capacities, I really agree with that. Like, there's some outliers out there. Like, I have my buddy Billy, who has friends in like every goddamn fucking state. And he's like, yeah, then I talked to this guy and we texted for a bit. Then I went to the skate park with this guy. I'm like, dude, your first hour of your goddamn day, I'm already done for the week. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's funny because I even said like to bro, like we're completely different people in a lot of regards.
I don't think that we're completely different people. It's just a muscle we haven't worked. Like
no.
that,
Oh, yeah. But
because
true.
you think
Working
of back
different
when
muscles.
you're in
Yeah.
high school. Everybody knew everybody at some level.
You're
you know,
right.
whether it's just a speaking, hey, how you doing, or it's the one I'm going to lunch and I'm going to hang out with him, or it's the ones I hang with after outside of school. But today, I think with politics and sports and stuff like that, we became so polarized these days that people are kind of like, you know, fuck the other side.
Yeah.
Really not working those muscles because they're just like people put themselves in echo chambers.
Yeah.
And not necessarily always political stuff. It's just like the way they live their lives. So if you are trying to be secluded, you're going to be secluded. You're going to find other people who want to be secluded, but you're going to have a very small group of people where if you want to be more active and be outside and stuff like that, you will find people who also want to be active and be outside and stuff like that. And those people tend to have, you know, larger circles.
Yeah, and I think it also just comes down to what social norms and how those have changed, and just like interacting with someone like in like a grocery store. It happens. Granted, for me, a lot of the time it happens with the older community. Like just older populations. I'll just go and like this is a common one I use. I think we all have our pocket like, oh, I'm gonna use this for social settings. It'll quickly make me the affable guy. Everyone will love me. Like I often get asked, hey, excuse me, sir, can you grab that from the top shelf for me? And I go, sure, absolutely, ma'am. And I grab it and I put on just like a slightly lower shelf and start walking away. They fucking love that. They eat it up. But beyond that, like I just feel there's when you're kind of walking around, and especially when you interact with someone, just make like a quick one-liner, and the reaction is just like, is someone watching you? Does someone say you can't talk to someone? Do you need help?
Right.
You know, you kind of get that energy from a lot of people nowadays. But it really does come down to, because we don't have as many organic interactions anymore. And school was just, I don't think we appreciated that. You know, our social interaction and how we maintain that is going to be completely torn away from us as soon as we graduate.
Right.
Granted, I mean, if you went to college, there's that. Yeah, you become naturally secluded. Honestly, outside of any education system, I would argue how social you are, you do lose a massive percentage of your daily social interaction, and that's gonna mess with your brain, because when you're doing something like that, interacting with people socially every single day, that wires you differently. Like even I can look back. I'm 30 now. I can look back when I'm in high school and go, damn, I did go out and hang out with those friends that day after.
Thanks for making me feel old.
Well, how old are you?
I just turned 36 a couple days ago.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, like, I can acknowledge that. I mean, it's been a good chunk of time since I've graduated, but still, I was a completely different person back then. You know, and I think a lot of that does have to do with the amount of social interaction I have now.
It shuts off because you think about it, school and whatever, if you did sports or any type of social or clubs or anything like that, those things are not in real life. Well, they are. There are those things, but they're not.
But there's still the purpose. There's still the premise that we are here for something specific, not just for the sake of interacting.
Right.
Like, you guys could talk more about sports. I mean, I was in Little League for a little bit. I played basketball for a month and fell and hurt myself, and they were like, yeah, he's too get the big bitch out of here. He's just a fucking liability now. I was like, please, coach, let me play. No, I was like, fuck that. I don't want to hurt myself anymore. Because I had a doctor. It's total sidetrack, but like early on, because I shot up. From like 5th to 6th grade, I shot up. I got super tall. And I had like a lot of
something, right?
I'm 6'4". Actually, I just got measured the other day officially. I'm 6'4.5", and I don't think I've been measured in a long time. But I remember a doctor telling me when I was getting some knee pains. This was like 5th grade, and he goes, "Yeah, son, you shot up too fast, and there's gaps in your cartilage, and you gotta be careful. You roll that the wrong way, you're done for life." That's not what he said or sounded like at all. But that's what I felt like. I felt like this doctor presence, like this all-knowing doctor, like Sonny, you better be careful. And
Right.
that kind of put a little bit of fear in me. But in retrospect, it is what it is. It shaped me, it shaped
Yeah.
me. But yeah, in terms of like sports interactions, that's you guys. I've never had that.
But I'm not one. I'm multifaceted. I could talk about anything. I know a little bit about everything. You know what I mean? I can sit here and talk with the nerds. I can sit here and talk with the jocks. I can sit here and talk with the political people. But I, because we have that gap now, of there's no like social clubs that you can join to
Yeah.
kind of gravitate to make meet people and be social. That's what this podcast has become going. I hope for it to become is that it's gonna be like, hey man, there's some dudes online talking about these different things, and they're doing these things, and those people are gonna want to be a part of that, and eventually we just build this community of people who are all over the place. You know, being social and getting out that shell and
Yeah.
actually going around, and doing stuff and not sitting around being lonely all the fucking time and
Yeah.
everything. Just instead of having a social battery, it just being social. Period. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just
And
right.
people
Just have it be a
people
natural part of your day. Yeah.
right, because being social shouldn't be a battery, because that means there's something being contained, and it's not.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be contained. It should be something that is just open, and either you want to accept the socialness of it, or you want to reject it because it's not something that
Yeah.
is applicable to you,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So you just gotta,
Or you could just correlate it back to the whole muscle analogy, right? I mean,
right.
the more you work a muscle, the more stamina you're gonna have with it. So,
Right,
like,
and the muscle I've haven't lost and I've kept is the muscle to be able to gift the gab. And people say gift the gab as being like manipulative. I think the gift the gab is just being able to
that's
talk to
interesting.
people.
I could see why people would say manipulative because usually those people they are able to maintain and keep things going because they
Right,
can move the conversation and
move the
change it how they want to
conversation.
change it.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
it's funny because I only have experienced what I've experienced as far as like the whole social, you know, people being socially shut off or socially stunted here in California, because I used to always say in Minnesota it is regular for me to walk past and want to say hello, and that can turn into a normal a regular conversation where I'm talking to somebody. I don't know this person from the next slice of bread, but me and that person can sit and talk and have a conversation and build a friendship and stuff like that. And it's
more
only
often than just like the hey, how you doing, and walk past.
right. Like for example, I remember before when I first moved here, me and Kat, my ex, we went to San Francisco, and we were walking on the Golden Gate Bridge, and there were people walking by, and I was all like, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" None of them was like, they was like, "Hey," or no. Some people wouldn't say anything to me, but we ran across a couple people who had on Iowa Hawkeye jerseys, and we had just moved from Iowa to California, and I was like, "Oh snap, Iowa Hawkeye fan!" I was like, "You guys from Iowa?" And it became a whole conversation, 30 minutes of us sitting in the middle of this
Yeah,
bridge, and talking. They were on vacation. We
that's cool.
was moving there. They were visiting for the first time. We was living. We were moving there, and we came. It became this whole thing. Oh yeah, I'm from Minnesota. She's been living in Louisiana. Blah. I mean, living in Iowa and blah 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 blah. And it became a whole social interaction instead of just a hey, how you doing? Move on
Yeah.
type of thing.
And I've lived in California my whole life, so that's like my norm. So to hear things like that, like, huh, that's interesting. Don't get me wrong, that's like definitely happened for me before,
Right.
but no, I like don't. And going back to the whole social battery thing, like, I enjoy. I hate people. I like persons. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going there with a specific group of people or persons rather,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to just walking into a random group of people. Couple things towards that. I think a lot. One of them is just me being a taller kid most of my life. I'm just like oversee like everyone sees me. I can't stand that idea. fucking bothers me. But no, because you said you don't like the idea of the term social battery, and I know Anthony, you definitely feel like anything that a word or anything that defines a limitation for a man. I think Anthony is opposed to, and like for how you know we've hosted parties, each of us, um, and for you, whenever I see you host a party, you, like I said, you exhaust me immediately. I'm just like, oh my god, because he's just going up to random people. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, remember last year? Yeah, when we came over and 50 other people came over to this place and fucked it all up, and so I had to pay for you. Remember that? Yeah, it was great. Well, good seeing you. I'll see you next month in my next party.
Oh
Like
my
I
god.
don't remember your name,
So
but
funny.
nice to see you again.
Yeah,
Um,
you know you gave me
he's
that too,
good.
man.
What do you feel about social battery? What is that something that you agree with, Anthony? I don't remember us talking about
Yeah,
that.
you need to talk, fool. Instead of sitting in the middle being the quiet butt.
Uh, social battery.
The term social battery, yeah.
I don't believe there's a battery. I just enjoy having conversations with people. Um,
Hey, pick your mic up. I can barely hear you.
test, test, test.
There we go.
Um,
You holding balls in your
Yeah,
hand.
cradle it gently.
You got a big ball in your hand.
um, yeah, I just don't. To me, I could have a conversation with anybody, anywhere, anytime. I just enjoy it. I enjoy meeting new people. I think that's why my career, I mean, huge part of my career now and then in the future is always going to be around talking and adding a little flair to the, I mean, right now in my career, if I can do the work, but I'll help somebody and I can sit there and we can be quiet, but somebody's hovering over my shoulder or standing right behind me. To me, that's awkward. So to me, I definitely say, "Ooh, nice earring. Where'd you get those earrings?" Or "Oh, nice sign on there. Who signed that? That's interesting. Why is there a moose on there?" Like whatever random shit comes to my mind. I mean, even when I was a kid, uh, I, I I would always ask questions, always be curious about stuff. So it's helped me kind of be more social, and
Yeah.
so I don't get exhausted by being social. I would say that texting is tough for me.
Dude,
Like,
you're a fucking horrible at texting. God, you're horrible
I,
at texting.
that's interesting. I've never attributed that to you before. I have to think deep about this one.
I
I mean, he's terrible in the sense of him texting saying "I'll be right there," and then he doesn't be right there. I guess there's that, but like, I don't know. I
This
guess
fool,
I don't know. We talk on the phone a
look,
lot, so I don't know.
this fool. At least for me, we don't talk on the phone a lot. We
Yeah, I talk on
text.
the phone a lot.
We communicate through text a lot. And
me and KP are in the beginnings of a new relationship.
at a what?
Our relationship started as drinking buddies and cool parties with
I
Asian
see.
chicks.
That is
Now,
not true. That is not true.
And
Our
I'm missing out on that. Where the
our
fuck is
relationship-
this? No Asian bitch. Get the I'm God. I got this fucking.
Our relationship started because of his wife and my ex. They were working together, and then his wife and my ex became best friends, and by proxy, me and this fool became
By
friends.
proxy. Ah.
so you're saying, are you hyping it up more, or are you lowering?
No, I'm just
our
giving her.
friendship?
I'm just giving.
To
her
where I
facts.
guess you've never actually even told me that. Honestly, KP, I have no idea how you guys met. So
No, we met.
I didn't know
like,
that.
A long ass like.
It's
I
been
think
like at least almost 6 to 10 years. It's been a
Well,
while.
that's good. That I mean, new era. Okay, fine, new era. But like, I'd also say that's pretty seasoned. I mean, you have two women that obviously you're not in a relationship with anymore. Does Cynthia still talk to her at all?
yeah. We all still fucking.
Oh, really?
like
Oh,
nothing,
okay.
yeah.
See, I've never heard none of this. So
If I was to invite him over, they would come over and it'd be a good ass time. You know?
Pick your damn mic up.
Dude, I need a little handle. I need one of these.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't have invested in something like I told you to instead of sitting here trying to be a cheapskate.
I will, dude. I don't have the money.
That mic
you
was probably
do.
the most expensive thing he's bought in 20 years. So
For real.
give him some credit.
Is this just like a roasting session, dude? At least
No,
I'm
it's
here.
no, it's not. No, I think it sounds great. I probably sound like Jack in the
No,
Box right
it
now.
sounds nice. It's low.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you know why? Is because I turned this down. Watch
Oh,
this.
that's
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. God damn.
Test
Ooh, that's
this.
crispy, baby.
Now you
Crispy.
can put your mic down.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. That's so good right now.
Oh, I
Okay.
got this now.
Yeah, no, seriously, dude. I think our relationship is redefining itself. I think we never actually sat down and just said, "Yeah, we friends, we cool." It was more
we
just
said
like
we were family.
they just like randomly said that. But I could say that to the homeless guy on the street. We got to actually get to know each other and get to all that stuff. So I think this is a progress in the relationship. So I'm starting to get to understand you as a person.
Cementing our
more.
relationship because
Exactly.
we've always been homies.
Yes,
We've
I would have
been
always.
homies.
I would have always, if you were to get hit by a bus, God forbid, Nevin.
Yeah, a bus?
Nevin.
Got
That's
hit
pretty
by a
specific.
car?
I'd stay away from buses for a bit, KP. That's pretty fucking specific.
I get hit by a car.
Careful.
Something smaller.
Our boy over here,
I'm not even gonna be fucking recognized. Like
he's over here soothsaying and shit. I'd stay away from roads.
Fuck a bus.
But that's interesting. I didn't know that about you guys. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's cool because then I understand where he's coming from about lack of connection from his current circle and all that. Like, you're like part of it, but you're also, it's connected in a different way, So I totally get that, and especially since most of your family's in other states.
Yeah.
So, most of my family's gone too. So,
And it's the crazy thing about it, though. The crazy thing about it is that that's one of the things that make me not want to live in California is because of how non-social people are here. How people are like they have their groups and they don't add to the group. You know what I mean? They're so closed off. So I'm like here as a new person trying to make friends and trying to be social and try to have me some people I can kick it with while I'm living here. That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I got a friend right now, and Justin might even watch this podcast. Me and that nigga friends, but we don't freaking hang out regularly. You know what I mean? I hit that man up every now and again to do stuff, but it's like friendships are a two-way lane. I can't always keep hitting people up to be like, hey, let's go do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I very seldomly get a text from him, and I'm super honest. I'm super blunt. I don't do none of that. I'm not gonna say something because it's gonna hurt somebody's feeling. Nah, fuck that. Maybe sometimes I need to say some shit that might be hurt your feeling, so you can realize what the
shows. It shows. Well, this is what I was talking about last time about vulnerability. It shows that you care, and it puts you in a whole new, it puts you in a whole new spot with somebody where you're just like, dude, wow, this motherfucker is not afraid to tell me that he freaking cares, dude. That's what I was saying last time.
I don't know if that is. I don't know if I cares because I think they're just being honest with the situation.
I don't think you wouldn't be honest if you didn't care, though.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that.
It's okay. Honest. Maybe it's just because you're focused. I think there's different levels of caring, right?
Right. I'm just honest. So I've grown up my life with a lot of people kind of throwing the stone, hiding the hand.
What does that mean?
Like
Throwing the stone, hiding the hand? Let me think on that.
That's a saying with don't throw the stone and then hide the hand. It's
meaning
a
like
Bible scripture.
like huh, and then
yeah,
like who did?
You want to criticize or you want to do something, but then you want to hide from what you have done, not taking any accountability.
Welcome to the internet.
Right. Hey, that's why all on my let me tell you something. On all my accounts, my name is there. My full name is there. Kadarius Player. If I'm saying anything that you want to correct me on, or you want to say something to me, ain't no facade behind who I am. I am Kadarius Player. If you got any problems you need to bring up with me, come to Kadarius Player. I live in
Which, for the record, that's one of the fucking hardest full names I think I've ever heard.
You know, it's
I
funny.
mean, I'm just
Is
being
people
honest.
like think that my first name is like a made up name. No, my name comes from Darius the Great, the Persian king,
A
and then
made up
player
name.
because I'm a player,
Dude,
bitch.
it's probably because they think black guys always have like a ghost or like a random nickname that they use for their first name. Nah, it's just Kadarius, dude. What does
Right?
Kadarius
No.
mean?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head what it means. I just know where
I
it comes from.
I know what it means. It means a motherfucker that can pull off a blue coat, an orange shirt, and a red beanie and make it look good. That's what that fucking
Hey,
means.
this is green, green, orange,
Eh,
red, black.
Debatable on the color spectrum, but no, you're
Hey,
the only person. I can't do that. I walked out. If I came in with that, they were like, Anthony, we gotta get rid of this.
hey,
Who's this guy?
because I live my life of don't give a fuckness. I don't give a fuck what you think.
Taoism.
I
Tao,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
I don't. I do. Bro, I can't. Like, I've been bullied. I've been. I've been in a world where I always thought people were against me, and it has formed me into a person where I'm gonna be 100% honest, not to mix words. So you know exactly how I feel about you. I'm gonna tell you straight to your face. I'm not gonna mix things. I I have no I have no I have no filter. I don't get ashamed. You can't embarrass me. Because what's embarrassment? What is embarrassment really?
Right.
Something that happened that's not meant to happen, and what are you gonna do? Apologize for it or something like that? No, I'm not gonna do that shit. Hey, this shit happened. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm not. I've gone through life not being afraid of like. Now I do have faults. Like shit does make me depressed. Shit does hurt me. Stuff does hurt me. I do get hurt. I got feelings, but at the same time, I ain't gonna pussyfoot around on shit too. Also,
Yeah.
and like you gonna know how I feel about you. If I don't like you, you gonna know how I don't like you. If if you are somebody like if Anthony or if I see you or Anthony dealing with somebody and I feel like those people are shit, I'm gonna tell y'all, stop fucking with this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
be blatant. I say it in front of them. This motherfucker is not a good person. You know what I mean? I don't have that filter to be like, discreet about shit. I'm just right
Right.
there front up and I'm gonna be right there with you with it.
Right.
And
You put it on Front Street if
that's the I
don't
feel
allow
like that's the best way
interactions.
to be. Because a lot of people beat around the bush a lot of the time, and you never get really the truth for everything. So you
Yeah.
think that people like you, but they really don't. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I think for me, and I think Anthony could probably attest to this, I am very aware of people and energies with people that they have, but positive and negative. I can point it out pretty quickly.
Right.
But I'm also incredibly patient. So if I'm in a situation where that person's there, okay, I'm incredibly patient, and I also like to make the room as a whole feel comfortable. Like if one person feels uncomfortable, I feel that. So if I can make a room feel comfortable in some capacity, even if it's at my own detriment, like, hey guys, look at the big bald bitch dance around, just to get off whatever the fuck that other person's on for a bit, I'll do it.
Hey,
Um,
hey, hey! Want me to tell you a situation where that failed? It involves you.
yeah.
Anthony knows this situation too.
What is this?
That
Well,
time
the
I
only
was at
one,
your
the
house.
barbecue. Okay, go ahead. Give me listen because that is absolutely a night that I feel like I walked in and I didn't have absolutely any fucking clue what was happening
Yo,
because I was outside living my best life, smoking some chicken for everybody, some chicken sandwiches going.
watching the fight, and your lady comes out the bathroom like, "Who used my deodorant?"
I, I still to this day, for the record, she has not brought that up since. I
It was a setup, dude.
Yo, I'm sitting there all the time like, bro, I just came out that bathroom. I'm lit.
okay.
I looked at Anthony and Cynthia like I'm about to leave, bro, because I don't want to be around this type of energy.
And see, I didn't see that happen, so I really can't comment to it. So I'll listen to it. And honestly, I didn't even really get Jesse's full. I think the first person I heard it from was actually Cynthia, if I'm not
Really?
mistaken. Yeah. Well, I heard. Well, no, Jesse came out for a second. She said she was gonna go drive somewhere. She just needed to step away. I'm like, what? And again, at this point, like I'm a couple drinks in. Everyone's in now, so I've already established. Hey, how you doing? Now it's time for Brandon to get a little tipsy. Okay, chicken's almost done. So I'm outside and have best life. People laugh, have a good time inside. I'm smelling this fucking chicken. I'm like, this is what fucking white privilege is. Just fucking living it up, right? And then she comes out. I'm just gonna go for a drive. I'm like, chicken.
Yeah.
And then and then she leaves, and then Cynthia follows, and then Cynthia tells me the whole fucking thing. So,
I'm sitting there like the only black dude in the room. I'm like,
okay, I don't. That's okay. You're the one that fucking isolated yourself as being the only black dude in the room. I mean, that was.
I was sitting in the room like, yo, this is not going good.
Okay, I can understand how you'd feel uncomfortable by that because objectively speaking, now don't get me wrong, like. Jessie didn't know pretty much anyone else there in the room anyway. Like she's met them a couple times. Obviously, she's known Anthony probably the longest at that point. But for you, like on your side, I didn't even process this. I didn't know about your feelings on this until way after.
I don't care.
But
I just thought that situation, I was like,
ow. But okay. But my point is that I can absolutely see how you would feel that way. Like being absolutely isolated, especially because there's a group of people that you weren't familiar with yourself, and you're in some random fuck's house, and you're just like, someone's going through on a little panty raid and made a pit stop at the deodorant section. Like, and I'm the only motherfucker here who would probably be. I'd be the first one on the fucking list for A, B, and C reason. I'll let you fill those in.
Bro,
but
I was sitting there like, bro, I literally because it was literally, I went to the bathroom. I came out, I sat down, I'm talking shit about the fight, and then next you know, she slid out, and she was like, someone used my deodorant, and I was like...
And all I can say is how I put that to bed to me is I live with her, and I know how she maintains house.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm going to leave it at that.
I don't give a fuck now. I didn't, and I did.
Well, clearly not, because you hung out for quite a bit after, I'd say. I mean, look, I'm sure you're like, I'm just gonna get some fucking chicken sliders and get the fuck out of here. But I'm sure that.
No, you know what thinking on my mind? I was like, man, he out here smoking chicken. I can't. I'm a black man. I just not passing up chicken.
Have the police called. Free chicken. Shit. Oh fuck, man! I feel. Listen, see, that's the funny thing. That's like an absolute Seinfeld fucking moment, and I have been having a lot of Seinfeld fucking moments lately. So I totally fucking empathize with that, and I'm so sorry you experienced that.
That is the best way to put that. It was a Seinfeld.
It really fucking was, and I'm so glad that I was the host of it instead of the recipient. Hilarious. So. From me to you, thank you for taking that energy away from me, because it trust me, it found its way back to me. The writer room fucking said, all right, we're done with KB for a bit. What's he fucking doing? Let's go get him for a bit. Okay. Like it was, yeah. So anyway, but the important question is, how are the pickles?
Huh?
How are the pickles?
How was the pickles?
Yeah.
At your house?
Yeah.
Dude, everything I ate there was fucking good.
All right, that's all I care about then. I'll ship you her deodorant special this time. You don't have to bring it. Thanks, just for me to you.
I remember I was grabbing a plate before I left, and I was like, yo, I was like, this black man can cook.
Thanks, man. You should
this motherfucker use seasonings, bro. Like, man, this shit good.
That's so funny. That's a common thing. White people don't use seasonings. They're just afraid. They use a little bit. They use it's too spicy.
I was
water.
raised. I was raised partly by a white family. Like my best friend Charlie, he watches this podcast. He gonna know. His mom knows how to cook, but sometimes
it's Charlie sounds like the kind of guy that would have a mom that did casseroles. Is his mom named Carol?
Nah. His mom does. They do soups all winter.
Soups, that's close enough.
All winter. Anthony's met Charlie before.
Amazing,
he sees
dude.
how he a Earthian.
I love that about him.
Earthian, describe that.
Like he's like a hippie.
Oh, really?
Hippie type deal.
Okay.
He lived in a van when Anthony met him.
Oh, he no longer lives in one?
He lived in a bus.
Oh, he upgraded.
He
Nice.
no longer lives in there.
No, he lives in a house in Switzerland.
Shut the
That's
fuck up.
badass, bro.
Yeah.
Are you
No,
serious?
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he lives in
Dude,
Switzerland now.
it was. He
Why are you
like
inviting me to
disappeared.
this fucking podcast then?
He
I'm
disappeared.
boring as shit. Look at my
It's hard to get
wallpaper.
that- It's hard to get that fucker on anything. That dude like travels the fucking world, literally.
How old is he?
like, Travels the world. He lives in, but now he's in Switzerland with his girlfriend and stuff.
He's got a Swedish girlfriend too. Oh,
Yeah,
dang
Swedish
it!
girlfriend.
Dang it, Charlie! Charlie, take me away!
Maybe one day I get him on here. I get all of us on here. You can talk to him. Charlie's just fucking
Alright.
shit. That's my dog. I love him to death.
All right, Charlie.
Yeah,
I want to intern that life, Charlie, because I'm telling you right now, I got shit going on where I'm done.
Well,
None of this. I'm done with this fucking wallpaper. I'm
That's
done.
a nice wallpaper. You
You know what? It's okay. I give this wallpaper shit, and that's speaking of like my pocket things that I pull out, make myself affable. Like when I'm doing interviews for a job, like, yeah, sorry about the wallpaper. Try to take it down. Usually gets a chuckle. Haven't gotten a
That's
job,
white
so I guess it
people
doesn't
shit,
work. But no, this is an older home. This is an older home. I do love this house, and you know what? If there was gonna be any wallpaper in here, I'm glad it's this wallpaper. I'm gonna say that right now.
This is not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm complimenting my cooking, my pickles,
Look, at
my
least you
wallpaper.
ain't got what I got. Look, I got people were sleeping on my couch and shit. I got an airbed down there. I got fucking covers, blankets and shit going on over here. Look, this right here, this little thing right here,
That's a pinned up. That looks like a thumbtacked blanket on a window.
No, it's an actual curtain. It's an actual curtain.
Oh, real curtain? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Shit,
a
I
real
didn't say-
curtain. I mean, the way it's put up
Where's the
there,
rod?
you
I
might
don't
be
believe
on.
it.
You might be on on trend. The way it's put up there is good. But I got kids. Yeah, I'm a nigga. And I got kids.
Well, that's why. Honestly, that's why I was just like, I mean, look, if kids were gonna be pulling shit down, I'd have my shit thumbtacked up. So it's alright.
Bro, it's gonna be put up there any way it can be. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Yes, this is a fucking hand-me-down couch. I had other couches. I was gonna buy one, but somebody was like, "Hey, I got a free one." Now I got this fucking sectional. Like,
That's all you need.
Anthony would have a field day with that. My little dumpster diver boy. He finds all the good shit.
Big items are not my forte, but yeah.
That's true, because you can't fit it in your. you can't put it in your
Miscellaneous
pocket or your backpack.
I've been telling I've been telling Anthony, hey, if we gonna be doing this podcast shit, I need some fucking hard drives.
Yeah.
I know he'll give it to you, but he'll make you remember it too.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I bought a fucking laptop for this fool. He told me one price. Then he came to my house and talked about a different price. I only paid him the price that he gave me before. And every day after that, when I mentioned that fucking thing, he keeps saying, "You robbed me."
Now,
Because
is that my niece? Is that my niece?
She peeking?
Oh, hi.
Is that my niece, Ariel?
Tina.
Come say hi. She's nervous. Come say hi.
Ariel, it's Uncle KP.
Here, put on the headphones.
Tell him what you think about his thumbtack curtains.
Crazy girl.
She's from-
Ariel, bye.
But no, listen, that chicken though. Look, where I'm at in my culinary experience, and I'll even say career, because I have a little side hustle as well. I have to give it to Anthony. He's the one that bestowed it upon me because he did give me a free smoker.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, really? That's why
Oh
you
yeah,
started
you
it?
guys were talking about
Well,
it.
that
when
was
I
the first
there.
Yeah, that was the
you know
first time I
what?
smoked.
When I mentioned KP's birthday, I mentioned to him, dude, let's fry up some steaks this weekend. I was referring to hanging out with Brandon and we'll fry up some steaks, you know?
Well,
Got a reverse
the
sear
Eagles are
method
playing
going.
tomorrow, and my time is occupied with that.
Where are you going to watch it? The
I'll-
Eagles bar? Okay.
I'll come
Eagle
over if I
bar.
can play video games. My
Look,
Steam.
I'll show you the bar I go to. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
A bar? That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, exhausting.
What,
Oh, it's definitely exhausting.
Oh, that's better. Oh,
if
yeah.
Brandon was to get the game rolling, would you watch it with the steaks?
Game rolling. Oh, you mean at my house? See, that's another thing you do. You fucking like, we're gonna use Brandon's house just for fucking everything. All my business ventures, Brandon's garage.
Hey, I got a TV and shit in my garage.
Yeah, fucking go to KP's house. I'll go to. Where do you live, KP?
Dude, but you have the
Those are
smoker,
sad.
you have the barbecue
inside.
sauce.
The
Look.
barbecue sauce.
Look,
We're
look,
I'll bring
look,
it.
look.
Oh, Glass Claustrophobic right there. No. No, that's actually a nice place. What's that place called?
That's called Limelight. This is across the street. They're having a fucking tailgate.
Okay, I was gonna say, did we just accidentally flip to your next video of you stalking people, looking for your next deodorant hit? Gotcha. Well, that looks like a cool spot. That looks like a cool spot.
I invited this fool, but he didn't come.
No.
I said yes, and then I said no.
No, you said yes, and then you didn't say anything at all.
Dude, if you only
How
knew.
do you feel about that?
If you
Go
only
on.
knew.
Look,
the horror
look,
I've
look,
been
look.
through.
I
You don't
love
even check
Anthony.
in on me, dog.
I love
You
Anthony
don't
like a
even check
brother,
in on me.
but he is the
Do
great.
you?
He's the great flaker.
The great.
Dude, you don't
In
even
my
check
life,
in
he is
on
the
me.
great flaker.
And you have nothing to say about that. I check
it-
in on you all the time, motherfucker.
I check in on you too, fuck
No, you
motherfucker.
don't.
Yeah, I do.
Pull up text. No, come on, boys. We're
Oh, we
this
can
is
pull up text.
We can
2025.
pull up
We can
text.
pull up text.
We can pull up text.
We can
Oh
pull
my-
up text.
We can pull up text.
Hold on. I can pull up the text.
Look, initiator. What time, bro? Initiator. You want to talk
Hold
to
up. Who
Brandon?
texted you before what
Initiator.
time?
Remember Brandon? Initiator. Podcast today? Initiator. Boat studio? What's that, dog? Initiator. What's that?
He didn't
Initiator.
initiate any
Yo.
of that. All those texts had
Initiator.
me
You
texting
got a
him
job?
before.
Remember when we fucked with Brandon's girlfriend's deodorant initiator?
He's nervous, dude.
Hey, Brandon, you want to kick out of something? Go watch last week's podcast. We talk about that situation.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well,
did.
tell me. I don't even know why. Tell me now. I don't give a shit. It's done now. I don't even fucking
it
live with her.
just
Not in
like-
the same house.
It happened, and I was like, yeah.
That's true, dude. She's single.
I was like, man, fuck that situation.
He's
No,
single,
that's-
ready to mingle.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
let's talk about
It's a
that.
situation.
So-
oh,
you're
God.
single?
Why am I on
No,
topic?
okay,
Oh,
okay.
oh,
Wait,
Brandon,
wait,
you're
wait,
single?
Wait for me. No. So let's not just single out
Yeah.
Brandon. Let's talk about relationships.
We're
in
not
this
talking
day
about
and age.
relationships because only one of us in this group is in a relationship. From what I
Yeah,
can
and
tell.
it's Anthony with me.
You guys have both been in committed relationships.
But I ain't in one now. I've been out of one for 4 years now.
How long were you in the relationship?
11 years.
Hey, you got feedback. Shut up. You can talk. What was your
thank
question?
you.
No, we're not going to talk about that. That's old news.
See, he does this.
But
like
see,
you do this,
it's
man.
important
It's like-
because look. Okay, listen. This is why it might be
he
important to
tries
talk about.
strong arm
All
this
right.
shit.
Okay,
All
this
right,
is why it
tell
might
me
be important because I mean,
why.
especially if
How
you're
are you
talking
listening
about
to him? I thought we were boys. Fuck you, KP.
because I wore glasses.
Hey, he actually talks on the podcast and not just sit
I'm
there
just
like a fucking
engaging.
mute.
I'm just engaging right now. No, for him, he allows me to cook. That's what Anthony does.
Hey, you go and look at our past podcast. It's literally me talking and this fool sitting in the middle. He may ask a question here or there, and it gets
I pull it out of him. I'll get him to talk because
yeah,
this
get that fucking
no
to talk.
because
Get
specifically
that beautiful fucking guy to talk.
I mean he is the sex appeal here.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Again,
For now.
unless
now.
I go down like
For
4
now.
inches
For
on this,
now,
but I'm
because-
saving it.
Because I'm in the gym now, some bitch. You gonna get old
Good.
KP. You gonna get the KP that you met.
I like
No,
it.
see, then I'm the guy that doesn't go to the gym, embraces who I am, and I get everything.
Bro, you're like 6 foot something, bro. You don't need to do
that
shit.
doesn't work out as well
Yeah,
as
it
you think
does.
it would.
Yeah, it does. No.
Well,
You-
I mean,
You
I
need
guess.
to go to the bar with me. You go to the bar with me, and I have bitches.
Well, then
saying
maybe I'll
different
put.
height.
Okay, we're jumping in different topics here. Maybe I'll fucking take you up on that. But here, okay, going back to
Anytime.
why it's important. Going back to why it's important, and I want to have Anthony ask his question.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
you're talking about you wanting to create a group for men, similar maybe experience, especially when it comes to like being social. Okay, for me personally, I have been in 2 major relationships in my life. One was 10 years, straight out of high school, and then literally 3 months after we finally officially parted ways, I met Jesse, and we'd been together for 3 years. So I've been in nothing but committed relationships. So my social interactions are heavily influenced by those relationships. So when you now remove a relationship, it does put me in that same spot. And honestly, another reason why I'm here today, it's trying something new, keeping a battery, muscle, whatever term we want to use, keeping that flexing, being open to opportunities, and just simply interacting and engaging with people. Like obviously we've met a few times, we've chit chatted, so obviously I was a lot more comfortable coming on and chatting with you. But still, like there's still a lot to learn here. Like I didn't know your fucking full name was Kadarius Player, like fucking World of Warcraft name. Like I hope you have that gamer tag on fucking everything.
No,
Hope you own it.
my gamer tag is Glockapella.
Glockapella. Okay, that's pretty good too. So anyway, I can imagine there's a lot of men in our situation, in my situation, a similar situation, and even yours as
No,
well.
we're in the same situation. Like
Right, so it's important
I've
because
only ever
if
been in one serious relationship. Like I literally banged 3 chicks, then I got with my
okay,
ex, and I was with her for 11 years, and then
perfect.
we broke up. I've been single for about 4 to 5 years now, and I've been just slanging dick.
Well, good. Okay, so but I'm glad you said that because you were also saying that that thing's done and over. Well, technically it's not because one of your main things that you're saying is you wanted to create a new social group because you were tied to your because you're still tied to your
Yeah,
ex's family and social
yeah.
group. So in that regard, no, this isn't done and over with. Because would you say like you said you have your group of friends, but like you don't have like I guess
I
fully
wouldn't
established
say
where you want it.
necessarily I have a group of friends. Like Anthony, that's my dog. He my bro. And then I got my boy Augie. But Augie and Anthony not too far. I'll drive to come see him. I drive to come see him. That's nothing. He only like an hour away. That's cool. My homeboy Augie, he's in LA. So he far as
That's
fuck.
a day drive.
I'm not
Yeah.
flying down there all the time.
Right.
And I got my boy Justin. He lives like not even 10 minutes away from me. But
Okay. Well,
we
then
don't.
that's fine. Like honestly, I have a whole different perspective, honestly, on a small organic friend group. Like I'm very grateful in the fact that my friend group is small, my relationship group is small, but it's all been organic.
But
Um,
this podcast can create organic.
sure.
You
Yeah.
know,
No, I agree. I
these,
agree, and that's why I'm
none of
here.
these.
Yeah.
I don't think that just because we're in this podcast, because I'm creating this whole podcast thing and I'm putting out these type of things to bring people in, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be organic. It's just that I'm creating a facility for organic relationships.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
So
organic people who have gone through breakups that put them in less social
it
lifestyles,
doesn't
and that's
always
why it's
have to
important.
be. It doesn't have to be necessarily breakups. Like me and you can relate on that, but then Anthony, he got a friend circle, but
Yeah.
it's like, would you say it's small, Anthony?
No, I'd say
And
you're
we're talking
top.
about people outside of family. We're not
Got my
talking
respect.
about people in your family, because it's one thing to say you got family. That's easy. Those are not even organic. Those are forced upon you, type of things. Those are people who are in your life regardless whether you have friends or not. We talking about friends outside of your family. Would you say that you have a large friend group that you currently maintain and hang out with?
What do you find as large, though? I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What is?
Shit, like anything over a hand.
Over
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
I
A
get
hand, a
that.
single hand. I agree with that. I agree with that.
I would say the reason I'm a bad texter is I I'll start a conversation with a friend or like a phone conversation or something. I'll totally blank that I was talking to this person. It's just yeah. I was just talking to my friend Rami from that I used to work with. He lives in San Diego now. He just moved down there from last year, and yeah, I would say I have a bigger social circle, especially now that I'm more grateful for life. I've embraced those relationships a lot more, and it's actually really time consuming, but that's how I want to spend my time,
Yeah. I also
which
say
is
you're
why I'm here
seeking
in the first
those.
place.
Yeah, I'd say you're actively. Based on what you're telling me, and like especially when you're going to these, um, physical exams and whatnot, it kind of also looks like you're seeking that a little bit more.
Yeah, like, well, dude, it's crazy though. This is why I believe aura is a real thing, because it's like as soon as I really started taking care of myself, people approach me. You know, like at a physical test, you know, it's like 60 of us, and just like random guys will come up to me and ask me like, "What's my story?" or whatever, and you know, I could be as quiet as I want to be, and it's just I really do believe that God puts energy and life into your eyes. I mean, your eyes are the gateway to the soul. Your eyes are the lamp of the body. So when you're living just like grateful and excited to live, and you're smiling and you're
Project that.
genuine, I feel like that energy carries with people. And so
Yeah.
I've never been approached this much in my life by men, by women, by kids. You know, even at the daycare today, I dropped Ariel off at daycare at the gym, and um, you know, all the kids came running up and just started talking to me. I was just like, what the heck? And they're just like all chatting, and Ariel's right there, and she's like playing around, and um, just this ex- I I don't know, dude. It's been shocking me, and it's also hard to talk about because you don't want to come off as like, oh god, I just get so much
Yeah.
attention, because that's not who I am. In fact, most of the time I'm just quiet and I'm just kind of like thinking or just smiling and just enjoying where I'm
Yeah.
at. But these
The,
things just approach me now, and I
yeah.
just it's been that's why I've been doing more research on like aura and like what does that actually mean.
Yeah.
I truly believe semen retention has been a big part of my like carrying myself
That's
different.
Shit, I fell
Yeah.
at that one.
I look. I
I fell at that
staggering
one.
topic switch on it, but no, you're right.
No,
I
dude, it's
feel like
real.
that. Yeah, no, I agree. I
I
agree.
don't.
Like,
Now I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna
go
disagree.
ahead.
I'm gonna
How?
disagree
Oh,
with you.
disagree with semen
I
retention.
don't think that. See, people like the. I think people complicate things with adding these type of, adding like hot topics to it. Like, oh, it's aura, or it's this and that and this thing. I think that situations create magnetive situations. Like if
Okay.
I'm a guy who on a path to being better in life, to grow my social circle and this, that, and the third. And then here we are with two other people who are trying to do the other thing. We just gravitate to each
Yeah,
other.
I think like-minded people will eventually always find like-minded
Exactly.
people.
And I think that like when you add stuff like aura and energy and all that other stuff to it, it just give it some like foo foo as
So you don't believe
But
that we are energy as human beings?
no,
Like I know
we
it's
are
getting deep,
energy as
but
human beings. Yes. Yes. I
do
believe
you
like
do
I
you think
told
we are? Do you believe in frequencies then? If you believe in
I
energy, do you
do
believe in
because
different?
I used
Okay.
to. I was telling Anthony before how somebody told me that I was an empath. And I used to be like, "What the fuck? I ain't no fucking empath."
I'm an empath.
But when I started to pay more attention to what an empath was, because I somebody told me I was an empath, I went and looked it up, and then I started to see those patterns show up in my life, and I
Patterns.
was like,
Yep.
"Oh shit, maybe I am." But it made me start to see things like, "Hey, if you go on a certain path, that puts you on some type of energy wave." But I don't see it as like I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and label it as energy and aura. I just think that you just put yourself on that path along with other people, and just
Yeah.
naturally it reflects to other people, and you gravitate to each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. I mean, I guess to add to your explanation of it. I mean, for you, Anthony, because specifically what's hitting me more, some of the recent stories you've been telling me is when you've been going to these um, physicals with other people trying to join the force, and there's that camaraderie. All those people are generally going there for the same, you
That's the
know.
word I'm looking for: camaraderie.
Yeah, that's it. That's Anthony's word for sure because he specifically said it verbatim. So, yeah, I mean, and you feed off that. But that's what I'm saying. I think that's you've gotten a taste of that, and I think now you're craving it more. And I think we, I do feel like we unconsciously pull things. So, for example, like you're saying, more people are just coming up to me. I do think there is a subconscious component where it's making you more aware and appreciative of social interactions. Because, dude, even before this newfound, like, um, self betterment that you're this path that you're going on, I always saw that you had those social elements in you. I always saw you having your random like moments with cashiers, no matter how godly uncomfortable it made me. Um, no, I'm just kidding. We both have that. Like, but for the most part, going back to similar like minds, similar energies. Like when how we met, he came to work at my rinky dinky tech repair shop, where he did no work at all, but we hit it off. We hit it off really
Oh,
quick.
you're a lazy bastard now.
I just the first 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, this fuck is weird, but I kind of like it. And then that was it. I mean, there was never like yeah, maybe we'll try to hang out. Dude, honestly, the last day you worked at the shop, I was just like, it ain't over. I knew that, like, deep down. So I think you organically just find people that meet your frequencies, and I think subconsciously it just pulls you closer to them. And the more you're able to acknowledge that, the more aware you are of it.
Exactly. Now, I would say I've always thought that Anthony was weird.
Yeah.
I still to this day.
We all are. Oh, dude, I mean, you have not even seen me in my fucking tangents. I mean, dude, I'm wearing fucking Buddy the Elf pajamas. I'm all over the place.
Buddy
I'm a fucking
Lee?
mess. Buddy the Elf, bro. Here, want to see?
Oh, you said Buddy Lee Elf.
Buddy the Elf. You seen that?
Oh, so I thought you said Buddy Lee.
Who's
So
Buddy
back
Lee?
back in the day, Levi used to have a I don't know, advertisement thing where they used to have show how tough their jeans were. They used to have this character called Buddy Lee, and when you said that,
Beyond
I was
me,
like,
no.
oh, see, there.
But you know, no. That's 6 years difference when it comes to advertising and marketing campaigns. I feel like I would.
That is
I
true.
just.
That is
Well,
true.
let me hold on. Let me do you a solid. Let me see. Buddy Lee jeans. Let's see. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, no, never mind, dude. You're old as fuck. I never seen this shit. You're around,
that
but they
shit
didn't know what
came
the
out
fuck
when
to
I
put
was
on
like
TV.
in middle school or elementary or some shit.
That fucker's gonna be in my dreams.
Look, Anthony's gonna look it up now.
You're old as fuck.
Well,
That's so funny,
fuck
the stupid doll.
the both of y'all. But anyways, when I first met Anthony, I was like, yo, man, this nigga is not gonna ever get along because he's like autistic or something.
I'm sure he specifically loves
love
that because
this.
we've had these kinds
But-
of conversations before.
one of the
That's
things
so
one of the things that like
Amazing.
made me fuck with him hard is like I seen how he was treating Cynthia as a dude, as a man and shit like that. I was like, oh, this is a dude, you know what I mean? And then me and him actually got to hang around each other. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is actually a dude. And
Yeah, that because he cares a lot. And going full circle. Oh, I love it when that happens. Full circle, going back to it. He's a flake because he cares. That's why. People spread himself too thin. But see, But see, this is why I feel like him and we have the perfect balance of relationship. Like, he's a guy that will spread himself super thin. Meanwhile, I'll keep my fucking peanut butter sandwich real lumpy because I hate the fucking fact that when you try to spread it, it just fucking rips the bread. So I'm just like, you know
that's
what?
why
I'll
you
just
don't
eat around
put
it.
peanut butter in the refrigerator because you're white. I know you do that, don't you?
You watch your fucking mouth. Who the fuck are you? No, but okay, no. I learned. Okay, to your point, I don't do that anymore, except for one jar I have right now that says specifically keep refrigerated because it's honey or organic. And it's got
It's got
honey,
the
I guess,
oil at
doesn't
the
really-
top.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I know.
anyway, I want to go back to that question because this is gonna be some juicy juice, and it's applicable for me as well, and for you, KP. I don't care what you say because I think we already debunked it. Anthony, what were you gonna ask about the relationships?
Oh wow, that was a long time ago. How did we get?
Because we were talking about me being, I guess, single. I guess.
Oh,
Not
oh.
I guess. I am
Right.
single. I am. I just. There's a. Go on.
We're gonna fix that.
You think I'm pretty, guys?
We do. Well, with relationships, do you guys feel like in this new, I guess this new stage in your guys' lives of being single, do you see that you have a lot of, do you see glass half full or glass half empty with this situation?
Okay. KP, I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I would
'Cause
say currently the glass is half empty because I am not my best at my best right now. Because one, I've gained a lot of weight. Two, shit, I'm out. Like I'm not at a point currently where I can say that I will be putting my best foot forward as far
From the
as
point of when
dating.
you were dating to now, you're saying
Yeah,
the
because
evolution of you is not.
before when Kathy met me, I was 165 pounds, fucking abbed up, fucking flexed up, all that shit.
All right,
And
I'm already
now,
chubbed. Keep telling me more.
and now I'm 36 years old. I'm 200. I think I'm 270 now. There's still that muscle there, but then there's also a gut to tag along.
Yeah.
My face is fatter. You know what I mean? I don't, I don't push myself to make myself to put that best foot forward. So, but that table has turned, so I'm now putting that foot forward to better myself. Like I've just started getting back in the gym because I wasn't working at first because of fucking I work construction and that shit is, you could say construction is seasonal, but
Right.
I'm back working now, so
That helps, I'm sure.
I can spend money on extra shit like fucking gyms and everything. So I'm going back to the gym. I'm dealing with some I'm working with some like health people on bettering my health. So I'm beginning to put my best foot forward. So when I get to that point where I'm putting my where I feel like I'm putting my best foot forward, I think that I would have more options than I do. I think I have more options at this point now than a lot of other people because I know how to talk. You know what I mean? I can talk to anybody. I don't have no, like I said, I have no shame. You can't embarrass me. I can talk to the baddest female and she could reject me and I'm like, all right, cool, bye. That's not a dent on my ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I'll have better chances if I get closer to my old self than now. But I still like the girl I talk to now. She's way out of my league, but because who I am, I know who I am as a person, and my charisma and
You drip.
I not drip because I ain't the best dressed motherfucker out here.
Again,
You
I
know
think
what I
you
mean?
undersell yourself again. Only a handful of people can pull that off. I intentionally black on black on black, to be honest.
Hey, now when I step out in the public, I put an effort out there. You know what I mean?
Trying to think. I mean, no, I think you always. No, I mean, you always look good whenever I saw you. I
Yeah,
think you
I
come in with
put
some button
effort
ups.
into it when I step
So you're
outside.
saying this is an effort right now?
This not an effort. Fuck what day. I'm standing around with a bunch of sausages talking about shit. So I'm not.
He's talking about you. You're the sausage, Anthony. I'm
No,
not a
I'm talking
sausage.
about you too, motherfucker.
I'm a kielbasa.
Whatever the fuck that is. But anyways.
Well, I guess. All right. I guess maybe I'm
But
sausage.
like I believe I'm getting 10% of what I could get because I haven't put my best foot forward yet. So there's that for me.
Okay. So you're saying that, so glass half full because,
Half empty.
half empty. I'm sorry. Because you are acknowledging that you weren't here. Now I wrote this down because I want you to think about this because I've been thinking about this too, and I had to think about this with my first breakup heavily. You say you wanted to be closer to your old self.
Physically though.
Physically. Oh, okay.
Physically, not mentally. I like
Okay.
who I am at mentally.
There we go.
Because there's a lot of growth.
Yeah.
Right there.
Because I think what was hard for me to get past the mental part, because when I went through my first breakup, and Anthony can absolutely attest to this, I literally lost myself because my entire identity was built around being a support system for this woman, and like anything that I enjoyed about myself, like specifically my humor, honestly, even cooking, simple cooking, like it was all I gave that all to my relationship.
I talked to Anthony about this before. I was like, you gotta not let who you with become your identity. It can't always be when you are out they're looking for your significant other.
Mm.
You gotta separate that because then you become that becomes your identity. That becomes who you are, and it is nothing but
And
detrimental to the
and
relationship.
exactly, and arguably that's one of the biggest factors in, I feel, in long-term relationship breakups. It's because there starts to be a feeling of unsettledness, and it's so much time has passed, you don't know where to put your fucking finger on it, and then
It
there's just everyone's you're just tense around each other, and you have so much built up inside yourselves about yourselves, and you don't know to release it, and you start releasing it on each other.
that 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 I agree with that. Also, I'll also say now I'm about to put my Kevin Samuels hat on. Oh, you guys may
Googling
not know who he
Kevin
is. Kevin
Samuels. Yeah, it's
Samuels.
another fucking weird goddamn doll. Who the fuck?
No, that's
Oh,
perfect.
I've seen this guy. Oh, this guy, he goes fucking hard, doesn't he?
Yeah. I'm gonna put my Kevin Samuels hat on, but I agree with a lot of the shit, but I don't agree with some of the shit.
Okay.
The fact that when you get into a relationship and you become your identity becomes so intricately, I can't say that fucking word,
Intricately,
intricately
intricately
twined with
intertwined.
this woman that you're with, that you lose your identity. It it makes you oh fuck, I'm fucking
Susceptible.
up words. I'm drunk.
It's okay.
I'm a
That's
little
why I'm
drunk.
here.
But
That's okay.
it makes you reliant on
For sure.
her
For sure.
and your identity. So when you break up, it's like you snatching so much of you away from you. And I've learned, and this shit happened with me and my ex. You know what I mean? I felt like when we broke up, like like I lost a lot of myself. But listening to people like Kevin Samuels and a bunch of other dudes that I've learned from, uh,
Or a
you
very
gotta
alpha mindset as well, right? Very alpha mindset as well, right?
Nah, I ain't gonna say the alpha shit because I was telling Anthony before, these alpha dudes that run around here talking about alpha this, alpha that.
Maybe
If
I
you
don't know
put
who
me in
Kevin
the
Samuels is
woods
then.
with those same alpha dudes, you can't hunt, you can't build a fort, you can't do shit besides tell me how to make money. And those shit is not applicable to
Yeah.
real life.
Oh, he
Yeah.
just died. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, not to cut you off, but now I know who this is. Isn't this the guy who would talk to women and like fucking humble them real
Yeah,
fast?
yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
I knew he was hard for some reason. I couldn't remember
But
what it was.
before he did that, he used to talk to dudes about humbling ourselves too. He only became popular when he started talking to women. But
Gotcha.
he used to talk about fashion, cologne, and shit like that, how to carry yourself and shit like that. But nobody seen that. They only cared about the part when he was out here telling, 100, 200-pound women you will look like a linebacker. That's true. That's true. No dude wants to date another woman as big as him. Like I'm 275. I don't want to date a woman that's the same size as me. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Dating a
look the same.
6'4", 6'4" woman. That would be, I don't know, that'd be an adventure.
You
I'd be
know,
willing to
but
try to climb that one.
what where we kind of failed at is that we made our lives so intertwined with the women that we were with that when they were broke up with us, we felt like we lost a part of ourselves. And what should have happened was we should have stayed who we are and stayed that person separate from who them is. And there were things that we should, combine on, but not solely our personality. Keep our personality separate, but there are things that we can keep that we can intertwine on that kept us together, but not make our identity synonymous with theirs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that shit fucks a lot of relationships up.
And so you broke up. So what you say? You're 36 now. You broke up when you said that this was 4 years ago. You were 32. So you were what, 22 when you started this relationship?
I was like, then I guess it was longer than that because I was 20. I had just turned 21.
I'm terrible at math, by the way. Don't quote me on those numbers. That's a rough ballpark. But how old were you?
I might be wrong at the time because I was 21 when we first started dating, and I was like 30, 31 when we ended it.
Gotcha.
But
So what made you guys?
we can't hear you, Anthony.
Yeah, come in.
One sec.
But our lives, a lot of guys. I believe this I believe this a lot that men love harder than women. We genuinely love the women that we're
Interesting.
with.
Interesting.
because we put so much of ourselves into the relationship. That's why it
Yeah.
hurts so much. When
I think, yeah, to add to what you're saying, but also kind of baseline it, I think what I've personally experienced, because I can't really speak for all men, obviously, but when you say give it your all, or give everything, I think the way that men give everything, um, is in kind of like the hidden ways. Like for me, example, I I consider myself a funny person. I like to be able to entertain myself, but it got to a point in my relationship where I was only entertaining for my partner. And that's how I get rid of myself. But meanwhile, she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything's going on. It's not her fault because I didn't know how to correlate that. I didn't know how to communicate that. Um, but it's in the subtle ways that we give ourselves away. Now, I think there's a lot of people that get the subtle ways mixed in with like the tangible ways. Like they feel resentment because they're going out there, they're making the money, they're bringing home the fucking bacon, and they're feeling resentment about something, and they're like, huh, what am I feeling resentful for? Oh, it's because that bitch is eating my fucking bacon. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with the bacon. There's nothing to do with the bacon.
all to do with the
So,
bacon.
in that regard, yes. I'm sorry, what were you going to ask, Anthony? You're saying no?
I forgot. But I'm
you
loving what you're
motherfucker.
saying. What,
Right.
dude?
You went and cracked open a beer or a drink or
Here,
something over
you know
there.
what? I'll help get on your level, Anthony. Today, it was supposed to be a sober January. I'm not going to go crazy,
you
but let's hold on
motherfuckers,
for a minute.
you motherfuckers should have got on my level. I've been
I-
taking shots.
I
the
was
whole-
not prepared. I'm half an Eddie in, if that helps. But here,
Shit.
I'll...
Did you way above everybody right here? Shit.
Hold on. I got it. Give me a second.
Eddie.
That's what. Here, I'll bring myself way down, baby.
Here, but I contribute to this though. I say this though. I will say I am a different person. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, this is the. So when I bought this house, they left a bunch of alcohol.
Bro, you
and
got
this,
alcohol in a plastic bottle?
It-
That's a plastic bottle? Oh, that's a glass
This
bottle. You
is-
see what that is?
This is
Oh, Jesus.
from the '80s. No, what
Oh,
did we?
Jesus.
It was the '80s. We
Oh,
cooled it,
Jesus.
right?
I know what
this,
that is. I know what that
He
is.
knows what that
This
is?
wasn't cracked. This wasn't cracked.
Look, I am a avid
Oh,
tequila
look at you.
connoisseur.
I am not, but this is what I have. And
Shit,
the
he gonna
blood
be
of the
way more fucked up
gods.
than we are.
No, this guy can tank like.
I
a
can
little
take
bit more of
one.
that. A little bit more of that. That's only a shot. 2 shots. A little bit more.
Let me start with this because listen, this is specifically I was not going to be drinking this week, but this is a special occasion. 2 special occasions. One,
Alright.
I had a beer for my stepmom's birthday. That's fine. And this is, this. So, salud, dinero, amor.
Salute. But I will say this. Me now and how I relationships, and I also apologize to my ex that I didn't feel this way previously. I am
Ooh, I like that.
Oh, now your mic cutting out.
Oh, you're losing you.
Wait, try again. KP, did we lose you? Did you knock something? SOS. Can't hear you. No, I hear something. It sounds like your mic swapped. Did you unplug it?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's better. Yeah. I got you.
All right.
From the apology portion, which I
Yeah,
love.
repeat that because I actually didn't even hear it. So you apologize to her for not being you? Is that?
I apologize to her for not having the same mental mindset that I have now. Because if I had the same mental mindset that I had now, back then, I think we would be still together.
I'm gonna write this down because this is something very, very important. But also for you as well, it's something I want you to consider. Sorry for not being the better person.
Oh, you
I
writing that
am
down for yourself.
now
I was the
for
one
you.
doing the apologizing.
No. That's what I'm saying. Keep going. I like that.
Because I didn't grow up without me and my father, we beefing right now. Me and my dad are beefing right now because my dad
Right now.
seems to forgot currently right now. Me and my dad are beefing because that man forgot I was a grown man my damn self. And I grew up most of my life without him. But I didn't know what it was to be an actual partner or a person that's in a relationship. I didn't know what it was actually entitled. Well, I didn't know what was actually asked of me to be in a relationship, and it's a lot. You
It
know,
is,
you
especially as a
as a
young
man,
buck, right?
right? I was young. I didn't know those things, and I went into a long term relationship without the adequate um, tools to be able to be in a sustainable relationship and give my person that I was with what she needed, and that was being the sole provider and having the wherewithal to carry everything, and then she kind of be the additive, like, hey, if I can't do this, you got me here in the stuff, but I carry the most major stuff. Like I was like now I'm like, yo, I want to be with somebody where I can be they could be a stay-at-home parent or they could be a stay-at-home partner and they could be that, but I didn't believe that before because I was like, fuck that shit. I ain't about to be with no bitch and she gonna be sitting around the house and not doing nothing. You know what I mean? But that has flipped for me now. Now I'm like, fuck that shit. Ain't no way I'm gonna be with some chick and she gonna be out here working. You know what I mean? That has
Interesting.
completely changed for me right now. That has
Interesting.
completely
It
changed with me.
is, yeah, okay. Keep going.
And that is the initial way how back in the day stuff was supposed to work. You work as a man, providing and doing all these things to, you know, the heavy lifting,
Right.
and then she kind of fills in the gaps that you have. It's a part that's a partnership. You know what I mean? And I will say that it's hard to find that now because you have all these females out here that want to be independent, and I'm like, bro, if you want to be independent, go be by yourself because you want to be a man. Simply, I mean, you go do that man shit by your man self. And go find some girly girl to do that shit with because it ain't gonna be me.
Yeah. You know, I guess to that point, because obviously that's a pretty, you know, um, that's a pretty polarizing statement in a lot of ways. And I think a lot, especially this day and age, right?
Especially because now you got the women who like, oh, I'm a woman. You think I can't do anything? No, it's not that. It's not that. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. I'm
So,
just gonna do the heavy lifting.
and that's what I was going to say. So it sounds like you are on the mindset where you can acknowledge that not a lot of people are going to have this mentality. You can respect it, like that's
Nah,
their lifestyle, that's cool.
it's
But it's something
it's
that
very
you personally
traditional.
won't accept. You prefer a traditional landscape, is what you're
I
saying.
not traditional
Because I mean,
to
that's a
an
pretty
extent.
traditional, like,
Yeah, it's
sweetheart, bring me my slippers and pipe. You
no,
know,
no, no,
that's
no, 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 no. I'm more like, hey, whatever you want to do, I'm supporting you. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to worry about the house, the
right,
car, the bills, and stuff like that. I don't have to do the side job.
right.
You go and do the side shit for me. You know
Right.
what
Well,
I
I
mean?
definitely feel like Anthony would probably have the most to comment on that in terms of lifestyle he set up for himself and his family.
Hey, he
And,
one of the
and
closest ones.
I still like, tell me more. Like, how,
I told
how do you
Anthony,
feel
bro,
about
I
that?
look up to the shit he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've watched his relationship. I wouldn't say from the beginning, but I've known it from the earlier stages. And
10
I
years?
admired
That's
a lot of the shit he's done. And I kind of model myself to want to be just like him in certain aspects.
a beautiful way of putting it. I agree.
Thank you, dude. I learned that from my dad, and at this age, I've learned that I've sacrificed a lot of myself to accommodate the relationship in aspects that I don't necessarily need to. I can still be a great husband, great guy, and also still do things like right now. I used to kick myself bad for spending 2 hours with
Yes, you
the
did.
boys,
Yes, you did.
to the point where I wouldn't even do it because I'm just like, oh God, I really want her to know I love her, and
Yeah.
just to know that I'm there for her.
Yeah.
But dude, not fair, not fair to myself because I'm missing out on good stuff. And that goes to my career, and it wasn't just my relationship. It could be with my dad, it could be with my wife, it could be with my daughter, or whatever. I would give too much to others and sell myself short, and
Yeah.
then I would miss out on a lot of cool things in my own life. And
Hmm.
so now at 27, when I realize how little time we have, I've wanted to live in a more abundant mindset where I can still be an awesome dad, awesome husband as best I can. Of course, I have many shortcomings, but um, there's there's this feeling of, hey, if I want to go and go hiking with the boys early and come home at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, I should absolutely be able to do that. When I used to kick myself bad and just skip that entirely and then go to the quinceanera at 4 o'clock that day because, why? Because I want to make sure that, that she knows she's loved regardless. But I would
And
just,
that is a real example. It's happened at least fucking times. Garrett, at least. All these fucking
so
quinces.
it's just, I, my dad taught me to, once you get married, if you're gonna go, it's either you got the Viking game, or you're like, for him is the Viking stand, right? You got the Viking game on, or you need to go to the family function. Well, he would skip out on the Viking game, and then he's just cranky the whole time.
You go to the fucking Viking game because you need time to your fucking self.
Right. Exactly.
And not feel guilty about it. That's the hard part.
Especially since we're good guys, it's not like I'm always going to the Viking game, but
All right.
uh, selling myself short on that just makes me bitter, cranky, and it's like, why did I even come if I'm just gonna be bitter and cranky? Just
Yeah.
just to spend time.
Because it naturally
But
wasn't what you wanted to do.
right, there's spending quality time, and then there's just spending time. To me, 1 hour of quality time with Cynthia is so much more valuable now to me than 6 hours of just forced time, because time is time.
Yeah.
Now it's like I spend 1 hour with 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 her, make it high quality, and then I don't feel that, because I put all my energy into it. I put my love into it. I put my eye contact into it, soul into it, and then, just like today with her gym, spent time, made sure she got her workout in, spent time with her, and then made dinner for them, and then came up here and come hang out with the boys. Uh,
Yeah. If there's anything you've accomplished, regardless of your
I,
beautiful
I, I
physique,
will I will
um,
say that shit right there, what you just said, like that's what I'm trying to get to, man.
yeah, and that's what exactly my point. Like, regardless of your other very tangible successes, especially over the last couple of years, even before you felt you personally were making successes, you were making successes. But your greatest one that I've had the pleasure of watching you evolve into is to be able to properly delegate your time and your energy. I did feel like that was a massive problem for you in the past, where you would give way too much to something else, nothing to yourself. Then by the time you give yourself something, you're like, okay, bro, let's have a game drink night. I'm gonna take a sip and just gone. I can just tell, which that is something that I think a lot of men, most people struggle with. But most people don't figure out, or at least currently find a balance, because obviously life can throw something at Anthony, and you know he could be a miserable fat piece of shit tomorrow. But as of right now, in this very moment, he has reached that, and there's many people well into their life, well into their retirement years, who still haven't figured that out. And not throwing my papa under the bus, because he has had a lot of successes himself, but he is. I look at my dad as a source of inspiration for a work ethic, because he's busted his ass for 30 years in a career, but he has never he's never found the way to give himself what he needs, and because he's never really asked himself what he wants, what he truly wants. um, and I feel like you have, and that's in terms of what KP was saying of, you know, emulating you in that capacity. Yeah, dude, you do. You have a balance in your life right now that um, I'm seeking.
Balance.
Balance.
The
You've
balance.
established a balance. You've established it pretty fucking quick. In this current moment, again, because knock on wood, not jinxing nothing, anything could fucking happen, but in this moment, January 25th, 2025, you have mastered it. So I hope if anything happens in your life where you feel like you're unbalanced, let's use these recordings as a way for you to channel back and see maybe what the missing pieces are.
Dude, I admire the balance, dude. That's what I think that kind of solidifies the thing of the whole thing is the balance that you have is A1.
Right. And that was that's evolved as well dramatically. Because again, you weren't that same you did not have that same balance early on. In fact, I recall very earlier conversations with what I thought was going to be my wife. Like, oh yeah, Anthony, he's really going through it. I really hope he figures it out. He doesn't have the right balance. And then fucking cut to not even a year later, I'm fucking flat on my face. Help me! So what the fuck do I actually know? But I know, absolutely in those earlier years of us being together, oh boy, us knowing each other, being homies, yeah, there was an imbalance that you had, and I could see how it was wearing on you, and I don't feel that anymore. If we're talking about energies and what we feel, I definitely don't feel that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, because like I remember I used to talk to Anthony about shit like, yo, you gotta make fucking time for yourself, dude. You can't always be family.
And not do things for yourself and buy things for yourself and feel fucking guilty about it.
Yeah,
Still trying to get him to buy new shit. That's been a struggle, but at least he's investing more. Dude, this computer that he's on right now, that headset's one of them.
To buy shit, because I keep telling him, like, if we're gonna do this podcast shit, we're gonna have to spend some fucking money.
And I'm good at that.
Look, I tell him all the time. I bought the camera when he said that he was gonna be serious about being on this podcast. We're gonna be consistent with it. Dude, I bought the camera. I had the light. I kept the mic. I went and paid for the fucking subscription for Riverside.
Yeah, what is this Riverside? I gotta look into this more.
And stuff like that. Like, you gotta spend some fucking money, motherfucker. You know what I mean? But
spend money on the right things, which that's been a problem that I've had. What I call it is, because I get this from my dad. Again, I use my dad as honestly, I'm just like him, but nothing like him at the same time.
Yeah, I'm definitely nothing like my dad, bro.
You've experienced my dad enough. Would you agree with that statement, Anthony? Like, you can be honest. You don't have to fucking gaslight me in any other direction, but I'm like my dad, but nothing like my dad. Do you agree with that?
Time out, real quick. Stop doing that reassurance shit. Fuck that shit.
Me?
Yeah.
Go. What
like
specifically?
I like this.
What specifically? No. I'm legit. Like, what was asking for reassurance?
So
like to call me out?
You ask a question. And then
okay.
And you kind of look for a little bit of courage to carry that.
No. I see why you'd say that.
Shit.
No. I see why you say that. I will stop it. But the reason why I'm doing that is just because obviously I have a long established history with Anthony. And I'm prompting him to, like, yeah, if there's something you want to add to this, go right the fuck ahead. Because
but it shouldn't even be that.
All right, you're right. Just open wide.
It should be a confidence that you know that your friend is going to give you the unbiased, correct answer that you're looking for.
Then I'll go back. Then I'll dive back.
To tell you
what
you want.
I get it. Coach, I guess you see how it's coaching. I was more so prompting, but I'll just go back to it then. I am everything and nothing like my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
And the sense that I think I have the same desires and mindset, and honestly, to what you were saying, a more traditional, just more traditional values. Because now going to my answer to Anthony's question, I feel like I am currently, with this second breakup, glass half full. Because with my first one, I was a young motherfucker. Okay, I was a nerdy tall guy who was really funny, kind of got cute in freshman year, but was traumatized with body shame and issues and self-deprecation and all that throughout my middle school years, where I completely deflected, like, oh, you want to give me a blowjob? Ding! No thanks. Oh, you want to fucking dry hump in your car? Ding! Nothing. Just completely oblivious. Okay.
Better than me.
Uh, well, not really, because I didn't fucking do shit about it. Again, there's another fucking episode of Seinfeld for you. But then I met uh, my first ex in sophomore year, and we immediately became best friends. And I immediately got what, honestly, I think deep down I've been wired for, maybe even conditioned for, because I grew up as only child, and my mom kind of raised me emotionally. Um, I found genuine love and connection that was beyond anything physical, um, and I learned the value in that very early on. The reason why I bring that up is because I feel like my experience transitioning into adulthood, even before the relationship, I had to take on very, again, this is not me trauma dumping, or because I know a lot of people had a lot worse childhoods than this, but I had to really step into a uh, what's the word? A There's a specific word I'm looking for. Starts with a P. It's not coming to me. But I had to step into an adult relationship freshman year going to high school to take care of my mom, who was going through an emotional breakdown. Um,
That's hard.
Predominantly caused by actions that my father did that I was aware of. All of them. So, like, just an example. And again, I know people have gone through worse, but, like, here I am, uh, freshman year, 8 o'clock at night. Mama is in a room crying her eyes out, and I'm looking for apartments for us to live in. Okay. So I feel like that triggered something in me, especially being an only child where I was kind of conditioned for it. I was just waiting for the igniter. That triggered me to, like, oh, I guess I'm adult now. 14, 15, 16-year-old Brandon, I'm an adult now. And I carried that with me throughout all my years. And then I met my ex, and we fell in love, and we lived our lives together separately for a little bit, because when I graduated, I moved, but we were always together. And I got myself a very good job, very good paying job, and I was able to buy a house, and I had all my family come in, and I was taking care of everyone. And I was just like, all right, Paragon, is that the word I'm looking for? Patriarch.
Yes.
Never mind. Patriarch.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
Paragon works as well. But Patriarch. I was, all right, this is it. Brandon, I am 20 years old, and I am the patriarch for my family. Look at me go. Just
Can I
fucking.
interject there real quick?
Please.
Real quick. That's men though. That's what we have to do as men. We have to step in where there's a
Have
void.
to is an interesting way of putting that, but please go on.
Because you think of it like this: if you was thinking about like a traditional type of situation, let's say we were living in the 1800s, right? Let's say the dad dies, heart attack, or kicked in the chest by a fucking horse or some type of shit. You know what I mean? Who takes over? Who becomes the man of the house?
Usually
the
the
son.
son. And
You know what I
especially
mean?
when you're an only son, yeah.
Yeah, especially.
So I guess I'm not unique in that regard.
No, I wouldn't say
sure.
all that. I mean, I think me and your situation kind of correlate a lot together, but at the same time, it's not something that is removed from us. It's removed from us because of current situation and current society and how things are running now, but it's not removed from us as in, what's the word I'm looking for? Like deep down DNA, deep in our DNA type of thing. It's something we've always done through years and years, and
I agree with that. Yeah, I do believe in that regard. Like, in terms of societal, like, structure and, like, men make money, women clean dish.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, like, I do believe in the idea that we are wired towards protection, and protection is protection of things that we classify as ours. And then when it comes to women, my woman, I take care of. No, women don't grab big heavy rock. I take care of big heavy rock. Yeah. So I get that.
And that you just took a position that is normal back in the days, but is abnormal these days because everybody is expected for the father to be there,
especially for youth
especially for youth. And
yeah.
I've, my mom, and I would say I would have kind of a similar situation. My dad wasn't around. My brother's dad wasn't around, and there's always been my brother's dad and my mom. My mom used to always say, "I'm the dad. I'm your dad and your mom." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but truthfully, she couldn't never be the dad because there's loads of shit as a man that I don't know as that I don't have equipped as a 36-year-old that I should have had if my dad was around. And I like how you say you can relate, you can kind of like look at your dad as a reflection of stuff. I ain't looking at my dad. My dad was like I'm gonna be fucking for real. My dad was a cheater. Like me and my dad are put it like this. Me and my dad are Eskimo twins.
Okay.
Whoa.
Me and my pops are Eskimo twins. Me and him is banging the same 40-year-old woman, and my pops don't even know that his damn self. Like we Eskimo twins.
Wow.
Like my dad was out here. My dad was out here married, had a wife, taking care of everything, but he was also out here being a dusty and everything. My dad can't hold a candle to me. I'm in my kid's life, all my kids' life, and I only have one biological, and I have two that I'm raising that are not biologically mine, but I raised them since they were 4 and 6 months, and I have a son with the same woman. I ain't got kids all over the place. I ain't got all that. Everything I've learned, and the person I am, who I am right now, is all self-learned. Stuff I've went and seeked out because I didn't have the structure to learn that shit. And that I believe that happens to a lot of black men because a lot of black men don't have their father for whatever reason. And I'm not gonna get into that because a lot of the time those situations is because the mom don't want the kid to be around their dad and they'll go and blame everything on the dad. But that's not the truth because I can attest to that being the same situation for me because my mom was bitter, hard headed, and she didn't want me around my dad.
Oh,
So
so
I was
you blame a little bit, or it
Oh,
sounds like maybe
I
most of
resent
it
I
on your
resent
mom.
my mom fully. I love my
Ooh,
mom. I
gotcha.
love my mom to death. But hey, there's a lot of shit I don't have as a 36-year-old man that my mom has deprived me of because of her pride. But my dad isn't the model citizen that I would want to sit here and model myself after though. My dad was married. My dad is married to the same woman today for 20 some odd years. And me and my
That's
dad got into a situation because we had so I'm gonna give you a little backstory. Voting. Voting come around. Everybody got their their political views and everything like that. My dad was voting for Kamala Harris. I wasn't voting for the bitch.
okay.
I wasn't. And it wasn't because she wanted to be the president now. It's because of the shit that she's deprived my family of single-handedly. Kathy was in school. Kathy was about to graduate school. Kamala Harris came in, shut down the school that she was going to 2 weeks before, but she was supposed to graduate. And I'm giving you the slim version of this story. That shit creates turmoil in our family. Me and Kathy break up. That's a lot of the reason why me and Kathy broke up, because there's a lot of turmoil in that shit. So I ain't
Yeah,
voting for this
I
bitch
get that.
Kamala. I don't give a fuck about this bitch Kamala. When this bitch comes up, she's now gonna be the president or possibly the vice president and shit. I ain't fucking with her. I'm not going with it. She could get the fuck out of my face with her policies and shit like that. But at the same time, I am a guy who has been doing shit by myself, learning shit as myself, and I'm a little conservative in my way of thinking. So I'm more leaning towards the Trump side of things. You know what I mean? I see things like, hey, we need to not be worried about the LGBTQ community. We need to be worried about why my fucking eggs are $7 a fucking pack. You know what I mean? Why my milk is fucking $10 a fucking gallon. You know, and shit like that. Why my gas is $5 a gallon. That's the shit that worries about me because I'm
Yeah,
a working man that's out here working and trying to provide for my
keeps the
family. So
country
I'm
going.
leaning more
Yeah,
that way. You know what I mean? And
I
I
get
had
that.
this conversation with my pops, and my pops want to hit me with this whole racist shit. Bro, I don't see racism the same way he see racism. There's not a fucking not a damn thing a white person or a Mexican person or Asian person is taking away from me. No opportunity. There's no opportunity they have taken away from me. I've always worked for whatever the fuck
Yeah, I've
I've
never
gotten in my
understood
life.
that one. I've never understood that one, me personally. I mean, obviously I'm white, so I don't have that much skin in the game. But I've
Yeah,
personally never heard of like someone said, "Yeah, I lost my job because of this one."
yeah. But me, my people, we like to play the victim role. We want to say this. We didn't get this because somebody else stepped on our neck. No, that's not the reason, nigga. You just wasn't qualified. And a lot of that's be a lot of the situations. And me and my dad got into a kerfuffle about that. And he didn't talk to me for a few weeks. And then he decided to come like a month later and then make a joke about it. And I come to him like, bro, I told you I didn't want to talk about this shit. This is something I wanted to leave,
Yeah,
elsewhere. We not gonna have this conversation, but you decided to disrespect my boundary, step over that line, and now I'm gonna treat you like a random person in the street. Now, normal people who got their fathers in their lives are not gonna do that because that's their father, that's their elder, that's that person that raised them. But me, I didn't have my dad in my life, so I don't have that fucking restriction in front of me. I'm gonna treat my dad like some random nigga off the street. So I'm gonna tell my dad how it is, and I'm gonna draw him down. You know what I mean? So I don't have all those things that like I can't go to be like, oh, I don't have a model that I can pull from
yeah,
because the model that I have in my father is not a good one.
yeah.
My dad has been married 20 plus years, and he's cheated on my stepmom probably like 10 of them. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, me and him are Eskimo brothers. One of the chicks he was fucking with, she circled back around and came after me. He don't know that.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I literally just told my dad this story about. Sorry, completely distracted, but
Yeah.
specifically what you said. My aunt, who was a lesbian,
Uh
um, she wanted to. This was years ago. This was probably 20. I don't fucking know. I was definitely like maybe 18, 19, just out of high
mm,
school. And my aunt wanted to introduce my dad to one of her friends.
mm,
Um, So there was a whole barbecue, and she was invited over. And plot point, plot point, plot point. I somehow found myself like alone with her in a room, and we were talking, chit chatting, and she definitely there was something off in her noggin. But
right.
um, I was absolutely getting Mrs. Robinson. Um, she comes up, she's just like, "How old are you?" And she did this to my. I'm like,
Oh
um,
yeah.
I'm
The point and drag.
yeah. And on top of that, I was also still in a relationship at the time, so I was just like, oh, this hill, little Blandon, is where your values all tested. Um, and yeah, no, I remember, and then she's like, can we just dance for a little bit? And I remember I slow danced and like swayed with her a little bit. It was in my downstairs, like little mini apartment in my dad's house. I'm just like, okay, this has been really great. And I can't even tell you how it ended, but how we separated, I should say. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny you say that, but I do feel like yes. So you can relate to the idea of maybe not him not being your life, but you can absolutely know his instincts and like primal urges and where those come from and how you've
Right.
had to dial yourself back and all those things.
Exactly. I'm
Um,
not. I have to always remove myself from being who my dad was
now,
because I had
okay,
plenty of situations where I could be a dickhole and just sit
yeah,
around here and be a cheater all the time. But
and be like, that's I don't want to be my dad. So
I
then
don't
I
want to be
bring
my
up a
dad.
good question. This is one for everyone here, but I'm gonna start with Anthony. This is for everyone, but Anthony, you start. What is something you get from your dad that you wish you didn't have?
Mm, I feel like lust is a big thing in all of my family.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, Had to overcome that hardcore,
yeah.
and I thought it
You
was,
say your dad was lusty?
yeah. I feel like my mom was too in a way, and that's
Yeah,
been kind of
yeah.
a
You got
pretty big one in my life, and
the double
so
whammy.
overcoming pornography and overcoming just like the wandering eye and all that has been probably the biggest challenge in my life.
Yeah,
But just like cleaning up my life from that has really opened up a lot of doors and just given me a daily challenge.
We're
'Cause
having a breakthrough right now.
you're 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 fighting your own flesh, and you're fighting the fight that most people don't want to talk about, and it's a very intense spiritual battle, because it's one of the main things, especially if you go biblically, like a sin per se, that most people couldn't, or not even most, all the stories talk about running from it. There's no such thing as fighting it, you know.
Sin in
Uh,
general, or specifically lust?
lust. Lust is one that you got to run
Yeah.
away
There's
from.
nothing back to do then. Fuck a bitch or fuck a horse, so there's nothing else to do. But
Yeah,
I
you
get
gotta
that.
you gotta run from it. And so, uh, you know, uh, the way I've been running from it per se has been healthier coping mechanisms, because it really was coping. And there's been some hard stuff, even just in this new career path that I've taken, where um, I get let down, and it's like my mind instantly thinks, okay, I need to smoke and I want to watch pornography. And it's like, why? Why is those things linked? But it's really just a form of coping, like a easy way out from things that stress me out or
Yeah.
anxiety, give me anxiety or depress me. And it's a lie, bro. Lust is is the emotion, or the it like feeds you
Yeah.
um, excitement to,
It's a
or it
dopamine.
feeds you like, hey, I'm over here. It promises you the world, but it leaves you hopeless, and
Yeah.
leaves you just kind of sitting in your own, you know, misery per se, and you're ejecting things that God has given you. I mean, our seed is one of the most powerful things we have as men, and we're ejecting it for nothing, and that's it's our life force, bro. You know, it's everything that makes us a man. You know, uh,
So
leadership, truth, honesty, integrity, all that stuff. Those are those are traits that God gave us as men to lead other people and lead by example. And when we're when we're just docile and impotent and not driven by anything, which pornography leads you to all three of those things and more, um, you are missing out on a big part of who you are, by just being by just becoming more docile
yeah.
and less of a man almost.
Yeah.
And it's so easy now, it's so easily available. We're in the hardest part. We're in the hardest times to run from it per se. So um,
Yeah,
it's a
especially
daily
have you seen what
practice.
what people can get away with on Instagram nowadays? Holy shit.
Yeah,
You really
it's
can. I mean, it's yeah. Um, I agree with that. Can't get away from it.
so, so that's why I think when I talk about overcoming this stuff, I always wonder how guys that aren't married and aren't in committed relationships would handle this, because a lot of my running, also I run to my wife. I leave and I cleave to her. So we've had these conversations about when you have those urges or when you feel sad or whatever, come to me, and she's that safe spot for me. Um,
See, that's the
you know,
hard part, man. I'm sorry to jump in on that
yeah,
part. That's a
I'm good.
hard part to rely on the woman that you with to
Yeah,
tell
I've
you
comments
your
on that
deepest,
too, but
darkest,
not necessarily that. But
bro. Because a lot of the time, bro, I've only seen and have experienced those things that you become. You know you give them that deepest, darkest secret, and then they use that in an argument to belittle you.
that's been your experience with it, huh?
That's been a lot of my
Uh,
experience. I have homeboys who have that same experience,
Yeah.
and it's super crazy because it's like they want you to be. A lot of women want you to be vulnerable and come to them because they feel like they can process a lot of those heavy feelings, but not really. Let's be for real. They can't really process men's feelings because
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the, I'm a firm believer is that you don't tell who you with nothing about your feelings. I'm sorry.
Mm.
It's a brutal way to think of things, but you don't tell your female nothing about what you're going through or how you dealing with shit. You go to your boys, you go to your partners, you go to the guys who can actually relate because we are three men from three different separate lives who are living damn near the same goddamn shit.
Okay. I I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna disagree 70% of that, and I'm gonna agree 30%, and I'll explain.
Okay.
I disagree 70% because the two relationships that I've had with both these women, both of whom, regardless of how they ended or and will end or whatever happens in the future, I still love and respect and admire them deeply. And I don't have to. Like it's just, I do. We both like, especially if I do not reach back out if Jesse and I don't rekindle. Even if I don't speak with Jesse again at this point, which is not going to happen, but if I don't speak with her again at this point, both the relationships ended in probably the best possible ways they could have. Maybe one got dragged out a little bit longer than it should have, but it was never in anger, sadness, of course, but both ended objectively in kissing and love and telling and reassuring that I love you. Um, and the reason why I bring that up is because I don't think I would have had those endings if I wasn't open with my feelings with these women. And these are two relationships that I've deeply valued, have been some of the most prominent ones in my life. Again, clearly, two only long-term relationships. You know, I'm relatively young, hurting 30 years old, but still, those are two relationships I value the most in my life. Now, the part where I'll agree with you is a reality check. And to be 100% honest with you, I can't even remember the topic that I was on or bringing up or whatever it was, but I do have a very vivid memory of Jesse, um, current, recent, um, saying, or rather sitting down and going, I'm glad that you can talk to me, which again, we talk to each other about everything, everything. But she goes, but there's some things that just might be better, like with like your friends or a therapist, specifically a therapist. So, and again, and
A
maybe this is
therapist
just
first.
right, and I was in therapy, and that's another reason why I feel like I'm glass half full because from my first relationship to my second relationship, answering the first question, Anthony, going back into why I'm glass half full is because for my last relationship, I put my identity in being the provider and the entertainer for everyone else but myself. This relationship, this time around, I started slipping into some of those old habits. I quickly pulled myself out with the assistance of therapy, and I gave myself a solid foundation of who I believe I am as a man, as a person. It's still always going to be tested, especially just because whenever you break up with someone, especially when you're that close. Um, but I'm in a much better position than I was now. So that's the answer to the first question. So going back to this point of the 30% of why I would agree is yes, there are definitely there's one quote that sticks with me that stuck with me for years, and it's said by Kristen Wiig. She was a not Kristen Wiig. Oh boy, actress, very famous. She's in The Good Place. It's gonna come to me later, but she said, "Honesty without tact is cruelty," meaning being honest but not being mindful of how you say it or perhaps who you say it to can be cruel. Um, and I think that's sometimes hard for people to um, think about or take in consideration, especially when it's with someone that you're super close with. Sometimes there's
Can I
some
ask a question real
information.
quick?
Yes, please.
So you said honesty without tact is cruelty, right?
Correct.
Would that would that be applicable to who you being honest to? Like think of it like
Exactly.
because
Exactly. So that's exactly my point.
okay,
And so in this certain situation, the reason why that quote resonates with me, not because necessarily how I was saying it was cruel, but there are certain groups where it's just like this information you're not going to really gain it. You are not allowing that person to have a positive experience with them receiving this information. There's nothing they can do about it but just feel about it. And it was definitely one of those things where I agree. Yeah, it was probably something I should have kept with um, my therapist or my boys. So yeah, and again, and this is just a testament to it because I can't even remember the topic. You think that that would be kind of twofold. I remember, oh, I was talking to her about this, and maybe I shouldn't have brought it up, but I can't remember what we're talking about.
But see, there's where I think, honestly, I may be wrong, but I think that you more agree with me more than 30%
Okay.
because there are things that the heavier, more weightful thoughts and beliefs and problems, you would rather go to a homie or a therapist to go talk to about, and is that in that area is what I'm talking about as far as like going to the homie or the therapist, because there are there's some things like I have dealt with growing up that I'm not gonna go and talk to about
With your
with
lady.
this is my significant other, but I go and talk to about my homeboys. You know what I mean? Like Anthony was talking about like lust and shit. I've dealt with that too. I deal with that shit too because my dad had a. I remember one time I was with my dad and we was hanging out with me. It was me, his brother, and his best friend, and it was me. And those are my influences at the time to hear, hear things from. So I remember my dad said, "I love my wife, but I also love women."
Yeah. 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 And I think I just want to add to this real quick, kind of separate conversation. And this might also be a beneficial, um, you know, having a platform with, potentially like-minded people listening, because this is something I truly think. There's a couple traditional male ego concepts that I'm still struggling looking past, um, that I would like to be more open-minded about, because I do believe there are are people that genuinely feel this way. And what I'm talking about in this case is men. I think every man lusts. I think it is genetically coded into us to fuck and fuck a lot. Okay? I believe that.
I
Now,
agree.
whether that be social structures or concepts, which, let's be honest, it obviously comes through social constructs. Otherwise, we'd be fucking everything. There's very few examples in the wild of monogamous relationships. But
Humans and penguins are the only monogamous.
I know a lot of birds. A lot of birds have monogamy.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. So, whatever that fucking means. But I don't know if that's supposed to be good for us or bad for us. But um,
Hey, our closest
well,
relative is not birds.
but here's the thing. Like, the idea behind fucking is so that we don't fucking go extinct as a species. So it's really not just I would say the Adam and Eve, the lust and the want, the desire. Yeah, busting a nut feel good, but objectively it's there because we don't want to die as a species. Anyway, uh, my point is, I think that's hardwired in all of us as men, and I think there's a group of men out there say who do say that they don't feel that, or they prefer, like, no, we're just friends. I'm just like, tell me more. Like, even if, like,
I
she don't
never
hit all your
believe a dude.
boxes.
I never believe a guy who just say they just friends with a female. Never in my life.
And this is
Never in my life. Because
very very applicable.
I'm the dude who's I've been the friend, and lo and behold, I really want to fuck them.
Right. And even if, like, but again, when we don't, we know, because we have all of our social constructs and we have our values, and we're able to keep ourselves dialed in. That's why when I say I'm everything but nothing like my dad, that's
Right.
why I say that.
Yeah.
um
I'm the same as my dad, because there's plenty of times I could have been a cheating ass dude. I've never cheated on my ex, not one time.
Never. I've never cheated. Period.
Never cheated
Never
on her,
cheated.
not one time. I've
Um,
looked at females. I've
oh,
talked to other
I've looked
females,
and I fantasized absolutely,
but
and in the act of that, yeah,
I've never had any relations with another female outside of my my ex, and I me personally, I applaud myself because that's what you're supposed to do, as a dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I think that how would I say it? Like I think that a lot of the time these days that because I think that guys are more socially restricted because they're
yeah,
believed to be you have to be with only one woman and stuff like
right,
that and stuff like that. But the guys do it who are out here, sadly to say, the guys who are out here fucking multiple different women and having multiple different babies, they're doing things exactly how it's supposed to be
right.
back in the day, where we are more trying to confine more to what is socially accepted.
Right. And so going back to that, so yeah, it's all based on social acceptance. So I have a hard time believing, because I've personally been in this, because I do have, well, not very many anymore, but I have had platonic relationships with women. But there was never a goddamn day where they happen to bend over to pick up their fucking notebook. I go, maybe.
That's not platonic.
I fair exactly, but that's my point. I never acted on it, but like that drive is in there, and for men to be out there and say that that doesn't exist, and I don't care. For me personally, and I look, I want people to come and humble me. That's the point of me by me saying this. Please humble me. Anyone out here who hears me, find me, humble me. But I don't care how homely a male may think his platonic female friend is. There is not a moment that doesn't go. There is always going to be a moment where he goes, yeah, maybe.
I hit that.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're fucking right.
Exactly, and this resonates with me
If you are
so
a straight
deeply.
male and your friend is decent, you're gonna think that. And I hate the dudes that sit out here and try to placate like, oh, I never looked there. You're fucking lying.
And let me just say this right now. I've been tested by the Holy Lord. Okay? Absolutely, because what not my last living situation, but one of my living situations, I was living with my girlfriend's. She was my friend too, but my girlfriend's best friend. She moved in with me.
It couldn't be me.
Okay, that's fine. But I also went to school.
I'm gonna be trying to set up some situations there.
Right, and here's the thing. For me, it was always like, this is my friend. I'm helping her. No, sorry, this is my best friend. This is my sister. I went to school and I grew up with her as well. She's here now. I'm helping her financially. She's helping me financially. She's closer to us. She's closer to my girlfriend and I. Like this is what this relationship is, and that's great. She looked pretty good walking down that goddamn hallway, though. What's going on? I mean, that's my best friend. I'm sorry.
It don't matter, bro. It don't. I'm sorry.
It's wired. I'm sorry. I'm wired for the survival of humankind.
Bro, I'm trying to. I'm trying to breach any type of. If my Jimmy can breach it, I'm trying to breach it. You know what I mean? It's that simple, bro. I don't care. I do not care. I do not. I'm gonna be honest. I do not have friends that are women. I don't, unless like it's my homeboys and his girl. That is a
yes,
truly
and
platonic
okay,
thing.
absolutely. Now, dial it into a more recent, prominent moment. Obviously, I'm very close with Anthony and Cynthia.
Yeah,
his wife. His wife is beautiful. She's wonderful to talk to.
Those thoughts
there
don't
needs
come
to
there.
be no because there's that. That's where I believe there's a social construct.
There is.
But because I was close to Anthony first. There's that. There's this. There's me. There's my love for Anthony, and behind him there's that love for Cynthia. My love for Anthony is always gonna fucking be there. But meanwhile, when you have the fucking flip, where you have a love for a woman first, and then there happens to be a man that's introduced to that, you're looking behind that woman going, "Sup, bro?"
Right.
And go right back down to the fucking pair of titties in front of you.
Right.
That's
That's so
that's the
fucking
difference.
true. That's the
That's
thing.
for me. And again, I want anyone to humble me on this because this is one concept that
No,
I would like
no,
to be
that's
open-minded
not
about.
that. But that's the thing
I'm
though.
going for
Those
more.
are things that you don't need to suppress because it's true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not nothing you need to just. That's natural shit right there.
Right.
That's natural shit right there.
Do
But
you agree? Do you agree with that, Anthony? Everything we're saying right now? I'm curious.
I don't know where Anthony at. He got off
Oh
camera.
yeah, your camera went off, bro.
I think he hiding from us
Why? You're
because
the sex appeal.
look, I noticed that when I talk, his thing shows up. So I think he has us on. I think he's doing things right now. Maybe he'll be back, but
Did he? Did he fall into temptation? No. Turn off the porn, Anthony. Don't do it.
don't go into the light.
Ramos, are you there?
We had to
I'm.
text him. I'm gonna text him, but dude,
There you go.
don't shy away from that. That's just manly fucking shit. I believe at least. Like, bro, I know that. Like, I'll be talking to. I have friends that are girls, and they been my friend before I met they dude, and I still be sitting here in they dude's face like, ah, fuck your chick, bro, because I don't know you.
Right.
Me and you ain't got no bond. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Absolutely. Now, okay. Also, I think it's important for me to say those do evolve, especially if you commit time to. And
Nah,
this, we'll
no,
say
for they
that.
don't. No, they
Well,
don't. No,
for
they don't.
okay, no. For me, it has probably because, and that's why I believe there's hope. That's why I believe there's a possibility. Okay, because in my current situation, I'm describing to you now, this girl, she's actually married, she's pregnant, and I love her husband.
Oh, that's different.
I do, right? Because I got past the enough, like, oh hey, you're kind of cool,
Initially, you're gonna
and
start off with that.
right, and also because we've been friends for so long, like I do look at her as a sister, she looks at me as a brother, and knowing that she's with a nice guy, and especially seeing the cocksucker that she was with before, that was reassuring to me. Um, So I do believe there is an evolution of those feelings, but I will absolutely to this fucking day look at that woman and go, "Oh, she's a beautiful fucking woman."
Right. Now
And
you
I'm
better hope
speaking
she doesn't watch
respectfully,
this YouTube.
and I'm speaking respectfully because she's a pregnant married woman now.
Yeah.
But no, I'd absolutely believe that she's a beautiful woman. But I have grown a deep love and appreciation for her husband, and that is, I value that level of respect on both ends, and
Yeah,
so
but see,
that's what makes it normal.
if it was flipped and it was somebody that you met the female like before, I
Right.
can't say that because I know that there's a girl out there that I used to fucking like, and she knew that I liked her. She was with a friend of mine.
Losing your
Was
mic
like,
again. Push
you
it.
know,
Push it in. Your mic.
oh,
Whatever you did.
you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. He's there was this girl out there that I used to like that she was with one of my friends, but he wasn't like a friend. He wasn't like somebody close to me. You know what I mean? He was just like somebody I was associated with. So I don't have any like deep feelings for him and shit like that. But I liked his girl, right? I would have poked this girl anytime I wanted, but she used to like we were friends, but then she'll like keep me around. And this is where I learned like, hey, nah, fuck that. Don't be around here letting these females tag you along like you on a little leash. You know what I mean? I stopped doing that shit because of this, because I was like, you know, I ain't getting nothing from this relationship, but she's getting a whole lot from this relationship. And my value was low, but my value was low from my point of view to that situation, but it was high from her because she was getting a lot from me, but I wasn't getting anything from her. You know what I mean? And that shit right there kind of radicalized me because I was like, man, I don't set up here, gave this chick all this time. I don't seen her go through countless bullshit ass dudes and shit like that. Cause I would be the friend that sit there and listen to all the problems. You know, hear all the dudes she's going, all the long list of dicks she done written, and hear all these stories and be like, yeah, but I'm a good dude. You can come in, you won't have that problem. But really, I'd be the dude who's who's at the end of a long fucking list of dudes. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fuck with the walked on mat.
But they love being called a walked on mat.
They don't love that
Yeah, a
shit.
lot more than being walked on. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, there's been a whole lot of other shit.
Yeah, I would not fucking touch that walk mat.
And like she was that, and I would try to make myself the perfect person for that fucking walked on mat and not get shit from.
Yeah.
And I'm now it's kind of like,
but now, okay, here's my question to you though. Okay, because it's a two-way street, my friend. It's a two-way fucking street. Okay, you were hanging out with her, like you're chilling in the back of your mind. Yeah, I would rip that apart. Okay, but beyond that, was there any other reason why you like being around her?
it was a fantasy shit.
No, there you go. Then that's it. That's the difference. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Okay, with my situation that I'm talking to you about, mine was beyond that. I grew up with this girl. You see what I'm saying? She's seen me, and I've seen her in all our different phases of life. So, if those relationships exist, I'm gonna say this: if those relationships exist, they come from long-term relationships, generally from when you're youth. I'm gonna say that now. To get something like that as an adult, for example, me, 30-year-old man, meeting another 30-year-old woman, and we strike up a friendship. Oh, she gets in a relationship, but she wants to remain a friend. That's gonna be a hard one. That's going to be a hard one because especially when you're 30, when you're already established, you know the know, and like you want to commit and spend your time with someone, those are the people I actually want to hear from. Not the people that have experienced what I've had where it's like, yeah, this is a childhood friend, objectively. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear from that. I understand that because I've experienced that. Okay? Maybe not a lot of people have. People that haven't. It exists. You can, especially being a lustful male, especially a young lustful male, ready to fuck everything. It's absolutely possible to have a childhood female platonic friendship and maintain that throughout your adulthood.
Where you're talking about if you're older,
if you're older and find that new, that's what I want to hear.
I'm not being any friend zone with no chick that's the same age as me, and we're be on the same level.
Unless like
nope,
they were honestly, unless
no one less.
Well, for me, unless they were like lesbian and or something that specifically says nothing would happen. But just for the record, to add to your that absolutely would likely be in the back of my mind. Maybe.
Yeah, shoot all that shit down. Look, if you ain't attached to anybody I know, when I meet you, and you just somebody I meet, and then you want to put me in the friend zone, I ain't doing friend zones. Because I intend on fucking you. So I'm not, we're not doing the friend zone shit, because we're not going to complicate shit. I'm going to dead it right there. If there's no possibility, if me and you becoming someone who are going to possibly have intercourse with, then we can end this shit here, because what's the point? Because she gets more out of your relationship than you would get out of that. You're not gonna get what you ultimately want. You kind of looking at that shit like, hey, I like this person. I think I would like to spend some time with this person, take them out on dates, treat them to food and shit like that, and possibly have sex with this person. You would do all of that and get absolutely nothing from it. You won't even get the sex part. You'll just be spending your fucking money entertaining this chick who's not going to give you what you really want, is the fuck.
Right.
So we're not
and that's why, and this is the other part I have to give myself, because especially being in two long-term relationships, I rarely had put myself in a position where I would have those relationships. Now, as a well, I wasn't. No, I was single when establishing a new relationship. I have a couple new strictly platonic female friendships and relationships.
I
Just a
don't know.
couple. Just a
I don't
couple.
know. I don't even have one.
But there are the preface that they had been and established long-term relationships prior, which I
But
respect
with
the
were
sanctity
they
of
were
that.
they with people that you are connected with?
Yes, I'm connected with them. Yes.
Yeah, but see, then at that point you got to cut those relationships off.
Well, no, it's not that I'm cutting them off or having them one or the other. It is kind of a collection. Like this is, you know,
Yeah,
this
but
is the couple, and I'm friends with both of them, like equally. That's how
yeah,
I feel.
I understand
That's how
that
I
part.
feel.
I understand that part, but
Minus
who
the
is
high
the
school example, I have much higher,
but this is
loyalty to
this
that.
is the
But
point I'm trying to get at. Who is the person that you are most value? Did you get the most value out of? Let's be for
well,
real. Not let's not let
well,
let's.
most value, yeah. In this case, it's going to be the male
So you
because,
cut the woman go. You let her go be.
yeah,
You let her
yeah. It's not
fly.
really let her. It's letting her be. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
obviously
No,
because don't get me
I'm
wrong. There are
saying it
some
more harshly.
relationships.
I'm saying it more
Yeah.
harshly. I say it more harshly, but it's just like you can't like
You
I
want to know some? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
you just don't get the same value out of the relationship. You don't.
I agree.
You
And
don't.
okay. I do have an example of what you're talking about, and I did experience it personally. And I say this now confidently. And I really fucking wish Anthony was here because I think he would love to hear this. Oh, I'm gonna call him right now. Hold on.
Yeah,
That's
get that fucker on the
ridiculous.
phone real quick because
What?
he ain't
I don't.
replied to my text.
This is what happens when he drinks. See what you do? See what you did?
Hey, this is good conversation. We're
This is a great conversation.
this is the longest fucking podcast I've ever had. This is two
What
hours
are we
and
at?
30 minutes.
Oh dear.
Me
Maybe
and
that's what it
Anthony
is.
do like an hour.
There you
There you go.
fucking are. Okay. I want you to hear this, Anthony. We're talking about
He
platonic
got a whole
relationships.
different shirt on and everything. What were you doing?
He's getting ready for night night. Look how cute he is. No, it's the same shirt.
Nah.
Uh,
Or was it okay? Nah, it's the
okay.
same.
I want your opinions on platonic relationships between men and women. I honestly, I know we've chatted about this before, but like, I don't. I guess I really don't know where you specifically. Well, I guess I kind of know where you
Yeah, we
sit.
need your
Anyway,
input, Anthony.
but I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I don't think you've heard this story, Anthony. I've had a personal experience of what you're talking about, KB. In high.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I have had in high school. I experienced my first love. Absolutely first actual love. And I say this as a hopeless romantic, because even honestly, even in kindergarten, I myself go, "Oh, I'm in love with her." Like I've always been a lover of women, always. Um, and so, but cut to high school, there's this one girl, and I absolutely was in love with her. Absolutely, head over heels. And she was in a relationship with this guy that looked like a perfect combination of Michael Cera and Seth Rogen, and I don't say that lightly. Looked just like the fuck, and both of which were actors that she thought were attractive at the time. So that kind of, but with that being said, we had several classes together and similar interests. I say that with hesitation because I do feel like I molded a lot of my interests around her, especially with music, um, specifically Bon Iver. That was every time I listen to his music, I think of this person. But anyway, I was head over heels. I played it very cool, but I absolutely was in it for the long game. How much of that did you catch, KP?
I caught all of that.
Caught all of that. Okay. I'm just going to repeat myself. I was playing it cool, but I was playing the long game. Because in my heart of hearts, I was like, this is my wife. And I have very vivid memories of her throwing down just as much signals because I know she valued what we had as friends. I know she had some semblance of feelings, and I know she knew she needed to maintain in some capacity beyond just being a friend and texting me. She needed to entertain. She needed to just like little fondle and walk away, just to keep me coming back and giving her what I had been giving her, the attention, the friendship. She felt they were hand in hand. Uh, Perfect examples of this. One time where I knew she fucking, hey buddy, she absolutely fucking melted, and honestly, probably one of my smoothest moves altogether. She, I remember in middle class one day. This was during a very. I wish I had a picture to show you. This was very Urban Outfitters era. Um, I was no beard, but sideburns all the way down. I had a satchel, which I still have the satchel. In fact, here I'll show you. Okay, I need because this is gonna help build a picture. Okay. Okay. And speaking of Urban Outfitters, this is exactly where this satchel came from. Um, okay. Imagine this. This is the satchel. Okay. My merce, if you will. Mutton chops. Full head of hair still. I'm bald now. I shave it. But um, wearing a vest with a button-up long-sleeve collared shirt with the collar shirt rolled up. This is who I was, listening to Bon Iver, okay, and all manners of Indian music. Okay, I was just that motherfucker. I can't remember where we're going at this. Oh, so one of my smoothest moves was I remember, and she was very into that kind of style, and that's probably why I played into it. But I remember one day in middle of class, she said, I really want a red bow tie with yellow polka dots. I think that would just be really cool to wear. And I was like, baby girl, say no more. Daddy's got you. Okay. And she also, I remember on a separate occasion saying, I wish people, I hate gift bags because they're just so like, you just went and bought it. Like, make me something. So I went and I bought her a red with yellow polka dot bow tie, and I made a gift bag out of tinfoil. How I didn't get my knob slobbed immediately there, I don't know. But I give myself massive praise for that, and I absolutely know her boyfriend felt that big time. There's a couple more incidents. I'll go through these more quicker this time because what are we at?
Yo, you don't need Anthony to tell you this. I can tell you this one off the bat.
Well, let me tell you these two other examples, but this is all to prove your point, KP. Yes, you're absolutely right. Women will flock to that. They'll have their own feelings, but they'll mostly flock to in my experience, they'll mostly flock to how you make them feel in
But
every
also,
capacity.
where you failed at is that you became everything she wanted. So to her, you didn't have a background.
I filled something that Daniel wasn't, but she wasn't willing to flip flop together. She now had a collective whole. That's how I feel.
What it was is Daniel was you're the good guy.
That's an interesting way to put it. Go ahead, keep going. I'm listening.
You're the good guy.
Because I don't really know. I can't really comment to that too much. I've heard a couple things about him. He's kind of a fucking weirdo. They didn't make. Sorry, cutting fast forward. She's a completely different person now. She's dating this completely conservative. It's funny. She's married and has kids with a guy who used to date my ex from middle school.
Yeah, that's how it always.
Which is kind of nuts,
they have all the fun up front, and then they try to marry and hunker down towards the end.
Yeah, and I think, and it's funny because one of her friends, this is another one of those moments where it's just like essentially pussy being thrown at me, and I was like, ding, ding. One of her friends, we were in a friend group, absolutely wanted it in retrospect, and I absolutely could have given it, and I should have given it too because she was a cool person. But I remember her saying specifically about Catherine, and she was, well, there's names being thrown out. Specifically about Catherine, that she changes her behavior around the men she's interested in. She does so, and that was in high school. Her dropping these fucking facts.
I don't even believe that. I think this is what I've learned over the years, that she just found something she could get out of you to tickle her fancy.
Right.
You was the
No,
good guy.
and I believe in that. I believe
You
in
was the
that.
good guy. You was the good guy who would bend over backwards to appease her, and she used it.
And she did. And again, there's a part of me that likes to feel there was something sincere about it. I do feel like we generally had a connection.
Nothing
I
sincere about it.
there's a, okay. Well, I'm gonna disagree with that because I actually
no,
experienced it.
Brandon,
I experienced it.
Brandon, I'm gonna be fucking super blunt. There was nothing. Cause I've been in that same situation. They'll give you a little bit to make you think that that there's something there. But really, all they're using you for is this
I'm gonna
time
give you.
and experience.
I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give this in the flip now. Before I gave you 70% disagree, 30% agree. This time I agree with you 70%, but disagree with you 30%, because I absolutely know and I felt. We've gone to parties before. Daniel was there, and I absolutely caught her floating eyes at me the whole fucking time. And no, it's hard to explain.
What's floating eyes?
Because she wanted my attention at the time, because that kid, the boyfriend wasn't supposed to be there at the time.
Here we go.
Go ahead.
Did you fuck it all?
No.
All right then.
But okay, no. That's what I'm saying. 70%. But listen, dude, this is over the course of years, man. So this is like something.
You could give eyes because she knew somewhere that deep down, that's all you needed to think that keep you coming.
Fair enough. And fine, I'll give you that. And so I'll give you that, and on top of that, give you another example that kind of capitalizes it. Regardless of what I feel her intentions were, regardless of what you feel her intentions were, this is something that just happened.
Brandon,
I called out sick.
Before you give me that, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. It doesn't matter. Any example of you can give me to make me think that she thought some type of way about you doesn't regulate.
That's totally fine, because it doesn't matter, because it never fucking happened. But
because the thing is hold up, people about to walk in my house right now because we've been on here for a long time. This is the best podcast ever, but you did not fuck. The ultimate goal of everything is to.
But see, I don't take that to heart, because like I told you before, I was deflecting pussy like fucking Wonder Woman before anyway. It didn't even matter. So anyway, my last example.
I don't think that there was
nothing to begin with.
Hold on, time out. Look at all these people.
Hello! What's going on? See, now they were having a good time. I'm sitting there. What is it? Talk about a sausage fest. So they were having a good time. What are we doing here?
Monster Jam. We out here having a sausage fest, talking about bullshit.
About our feelings and drink. This is just terrible. This is sad. Shit. But last example. But then Anthony, I do want to get your opinion on this, on platonic relationships thing, especially because you know how it's affected me personally. The last example is I called out of school one day, and we were texting, and we were talking about something, I don't know, and then she completely flipped the topic, and she goes, yeah, well, anyway, it kind of sucks because you missed me in a sundress today.
Bro.
That again, that's why I'm giving you the 70%. I'm going to give you the 70%.
Here, I give you the best advice you can get. Ashley and Kathy. I'm going to ask Ashley and Kathy.
I'm not delusional to this, by the way. Again, this is me when I'm 16 I'm 30-year-old man now. We're talking about when I was fucking 16, 17 years old. Fair enough. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Here,
let me get my satchel off. Now I'm feeling
Kathy here. Let me get Kathy here.
That ain't me anymore. Mutton chop.
Kathy, can you come here for a second?
Hi, Kathy.
So this is my sister.
Hi, Kathy.
What's the question?
Oh, it's Ashley. Hi, Ashley.
This is Ashley. Kathy. We're gonna get two women in here. I'm gonna tell you. I'm about to prove my point.
Go right ahead. I'm happy to hear this.
Kat, can I get you?
Because if anything like this happens, to your point, KP, if anything like this happens now, abso-fucking-lutely. What did I say was the exception to this? What I say was the exception to this. When you're young and you don't know any better.
I understand that part.
But
All
go
right,
on.
so
Absolutely. Go ahead.
here, lay out what you're saying to me, and then I'm gonna let them give their opinion.
Oh, you're having me backtrack. They need a lot more context. But all
So
right, I'll try to
he had a
package it real
girl.
tight.
He had a girl that he liked it, right? She had a boyfriend, and he was doing all these things for her, even though she was
Who's he?
already
Hold on.
Brandon.
He had a girl that he liked,
He had a girl that he
This is
liked,
high school,
but she had a
by the way.
boyfriend.
but she had a boyfriend.
Okay.
He was doing all these things for her.
Mm-hmm.
She was suggesting stuff, and he would do it, and all this other stuff, and you see the face? You see the face?
Well, okay. Now, when you say like she was suggesting stuff, no, it wasn't like that. Let me explain it.
Let-
How,
let-
no,
let-
I want
let
to
you
explain it.
explain
I think. Does this work? Yeah, I can talk for myself, KP. You sit the fuck there. You can listen. I'll tell you. Okay. So, in high school, first love of my life, absolutely hands down. Period. I'll never take that away. She was in a relationship at the time, one of her first, and it was long term before I even met her. Okay, we had several classes together. We hit it off, and it turns out everyone in her friend group liked me, and we all just became a big friend group. So that was the other part. Maybe I didn't emphasize enough on that, KP. It wasn't just all us. It was a huge friend group that we all connected with. That fair enough. Okay, but I just didn't bring that up. And again, to KP's point, I'm saying he is 70% right, but there's 30% that I personally experienced that you can't really summarize in a matter of minutes because this is a couple-year-long relationship and there's nuances, there's subtleties in a relationship. So the point is, there's been a couple examples where I know I was giving her what she wanted as a woman, but she would still keeping her boyfriend along, and she was keep dragging at the same time, kind of dragging me along as well, And here's an example of that. This was a separate side conversation that she had. She brought up one day randomly that she would, I would really love a red bow tie with yellow polka dots. And then on a completely separate occasion, she said she hated packaging because she thought the whole idea of store-bought was unoriginal. So not only did I get her a red and yellow polka dot bow tie, I handmade a gift bag. After that moment, I remember because I gave it to her, and she went into her boyfriend's car, and I saw her shoulders kind of like slump over, like, come on. And she didn't talk to me for a week, and then she came back and apologized. I honestly can't remember the excuse that she gave, why she didn't, but we carried on just like nothing ever happened. So it was one of those complex relationships, friendships, where I know she had slight feelings, but at the same time, yes, I was giving her something that she was liking. She was sipping the Kool-Aid, but she didn't want to take the whole jug. And I fell into that. And that's to KP's point. I'm not saying that I did it, but there was absolutely genuine feelings that she had for me throughout the way.
And my point to that is, there was no genuine sympathy or feelings. It was she was getting something out of him that she wasn't getting from her boyfriend, and she kept placating to that because she was getting it from him because he was a nice guy. Yeah, I'm using big words, placating.
Spell that for me.
I can't spell it. I can't spell it. But he was giving her something that she wasn't getting from her boyfriend, and she kept going to him. She kept going to the well to get stuff from him that
Material stuff.
material stuff.
It wasn't material. It's not like she was asking for me.
But
You made it sound like she was over there like.
no, what I'm saying is,
Give me that. He was giving her attention. Okay, listen,
He was giving
I
her
was
attention.
listening to her.
It's not jewelry. It's
he
not
not.
flowers.
But they're in high school though at this time.
It was.
He
little
was
bit of
giving her.
attention.
He was giving her some type of feeling, and she kept feeding into it, and like, oh, I could get that from him.
But also-
so I'm gonna keep digging in that well.
But also, you also can't base off like, real life situation compared to high school. Like especially when you're in high school,
Right.
everyone is figuring out their not only their likes, their dislikes,
That's
but
my
also their
point.
morals, their values. They're also figuring.
Uh-oh. I think we lost you, KP. Oh, KP went down. Well, we're still recording. Anthony, you tell me about what your feelings on platonic relationships. Oh, you're muted. I'm waiting. Nothing. Nothing.
I don't know what the fuck
Oh, now
happened.
you're on the left now. Now you're on left now.
It,
And I'm gonna be
that
honest,
my
because you
internet like weirdly cut out on me.
right and what?
I don't know what the hell she just said.
But so to her point, she was bringing up that it's a high school relationship, which that's totally the point. And to be 100% honest, I can't remember why.
I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't differentiate that. That's what I was saying as far as like a high school thing.
Yes.
Like it's a high school thing, bro. She was getting something from you, and she kept going to the
Oh,
well.
my point was I've been on the opposite end of that, but the only reason why I would have allowed that to go on is because I didn't know any better because it was in high school. That's my whole point of it.
So we had a whole miscommunication.
That's
right
what I was
there.
saying. I agree with you 70%. I absolutely 30% know. I have in my head. I know things she said to me, the way she's looked at me. There was fucking feelings,
because
but
we was having sound problems and stuff like that. So I didn't get a lot of everything, but I get you on that part. If it's like a high school thing, I can
Yeah, it's high
understand.
school.
But when it becomes something like is more into the adult phase of things,
yes, absolutely. Now I'd be the goddamn pathetic, miserable piece of shit.
you
But no,
can't
this was high
let
school.
you can't let them keep going to the well because you're the nice guy. Because I found out that being a nice guy is detrimental
Right.
to your health.
So anyway, going back, because I really do want to hear Anthony's perspective
Yeah,
on
go
this, and then
Anthony.
maybe
I'm
we'll wrap it up after this.
a mute myself and you.
Yeah,
Anthony,
me
you go
too.
at it.
I'm muting myself too, Ramos. I want you to give me a solid 10 minutes, if you can, on male platonic relationships, especially being that you have like KP and myself interacting with your wife.
Test, test, test. Is it working now? Oh, I had to switch mics. The snowball isn't working. But whatever. Platonic relationships. Let me look up what platonic means. And
Strictly friends.
platonic. Intimate or affectionate, but not sexual. Okay, got it.
Even that's, I'm sorry, that even sounds a little juicy based on the description. I'm just friendships, like
got it.
a male and a
Friendships
woman
with
being
the
friends.
opposite sex. Okay. To me, I think that's possible. I think there's certain girls we're interested in. You know, like I'm friends with those two chicks behind KP, and I've never thought about anything outside of just being friends with them. Now, but there was other girls in life where you're just like, oh yeah, if this girl wasn't so obsessed with being friends with me, I would absolutely take my shoot my shot if I could. But there's just certain people that just don't like you want them to, and so yeah, no, I believe that platonic relationships uh, can be real, can actually I don't know, grow. Um, I don't believe that every girl is just, I'm just attracted to and I just want to F. I don't think that's real. Um, because them two in the background are perfect examples of that. Never thought about that once with either one of them, even if KP was my boy or whatever. It just,
But I will say I differentiated this fact that there is the people who are tied to people that you know. You know what I mean? We differentiated that part. Like if you know,
yeah,
Kathy is my ex, and then Ashley is my sister. You know what I mean? They're considered my family member. If you were to see that of them that way, um, if you see them that way, when I'm still around, then that'd be kind of like oh, what the fuck? But if you was to meet them before me, that'd be a different thing. and we
Uh,
kind of differentiated that part.
okay. Well, yeah, I think the point still stands that it's possible to be friends with women without wanting to do them, and I believe, of course, women feel the same. I don't think every girl relationship, I have felt that I've always wanted to sleep with just every
Yeah.
girl that I've seen. It is possible that attraction factors in their personality. You know, there's been some girls that are absolutely fire, and then they speak, and you're just like, ooh, not my type. You know, um,
Like Barbie
and
with
even
Down
if
syndrome.
even if you paid me to try to hit on her, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, uh, but going to Brandon's story, I definitely believe that shit, dude, I was in that too in high school. Um, this girl, you know, and it was at the time where I was like, I had just changed up my style. I lost some weight too, and uh, I I really started taking care of myself, and then a lot of people, a lot of girls in high school really started paying attention to me, and I ended up wanting to be with this one girl, out of the girls that wanted to be with me, and she led me on for like a good 3 months, man, and she ended up just being kind of mean, hurtful. She once texted me, "Hey, what do you think about this sweater?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't really like gifts. All good." She's like, "It's not for you. It's for Johnny." And it's like her best friend, right? And lo and behold, she ends up dating Johnny later.
Bitch,
So
bitch,
it's just
bitch,
like,
bitch.
so I'm just like, it's not worth it, bro.
But
You know?
how is that different from what I'm saying? That's not no different. That situation is no different from what I'm saying. You
Yeah, no,
you
I'm,
Now
you
I'm
he's
you
agreeing
agreeing
with
with
were
you.
you.
I'm
you
agreeing with you, you
gave your
sensitive bastard.
you became access. You
Yeah,
became an access to this
I became
person,
access to.
and that
I
person
was given
kept going to the
access.
well, kept going to the well.
They
You
were
became somebody that they can go to and rely to
exactly.
and give them something to
Johnny
pick
was
me up.
more, and again, I think where where I will teach my kids is that foundation. Again, why it's so important to have a good family dynamic is your kids aren't out there willing to put themselves in uncomfortable and unnecessary situations, especially to find companionship, whether
Companionship,
it's a
yep.
relationship or just a friendship, because they're not sure of themselves.
Hmm.
I wasn't sure of myself all the way up until I want to say this last year. You know, uh,
I'd have to agree with that, yeah.
so there's a lot of stuff that was holding me back up until this last year, and I realized how much of my family dynamic really affected that my growth uh, into becoming a man, and I had to find a lot of my own growth through YouTube, through therapy, through uh, you know, gym, through beating myself, like retraining my mind from this negative, um, guy that never spends time with himself, purposely not spending time with myself because I couldn't stand being alone by myself. And then,
That's a
so
good
just
quality.
going, all this stuff is wrapped up in a bow about how important it is to really have a good family dynamic to start, to give
Yeah,
your kids a
that's true.
proper
It,
upbringing,
yeah,
so that you're not having these tough conversations later as adults. And you're
yeah,
just like, why did I let that person fuck me over
yeah.
for months or for days or for weeks or for years? And it's that's why, what's that? There's this saying that says life has to be lived forward, but only makes sense in reverse.
Reverse, yeah, because you
You
have to
know,
see it all laid out. Yeah, and
so
I think that's something that the three of us can all take away is that I think we've acknowledged the sins of our parents and can see it trickle into our lives in these stages. And arguably, we're all in the same stage of life. Not necessarily the same
Different
things
ages,
going on.
same stages.
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. Uh, so yeah, I think we've all acknowledged the sins of our family, and I think we're doing everything we can to avoid that, to either improve it or perhaps even avoid it altogether. Just like saying, look, there's a lot of battles and struggles in life. Some things are worth looking through. Some things just like, that's gonna be my grandkids' problem. Sorry, buddy. You're gonna have to figure that fucking, the anxiety complex. Yeah, you'll have to figure that. Hopefully, AI and robots can figure that one out. But like, for example, for me with my lust, I feel like I approach it a lot more hands-on than perhaps you, KP. You are in the mindset, and which is that it's not a problem at all. You're like, uh, she wants to be friends. She want to put out? Nah, I'm good. Meanwhile, I'm more open to the concepts of she wants to be friends. Maybe I'll just jerk off a couple times to her, and then maybe I'll just get on my system, and then I'll just get bored with it anyway. Okay, yeah, let's try it. Like that's where I feel like I'm at.
I'm sorry to laugh at that.
No, I want you to laugh. It's fucking. It's sad because it's funny because it's relatable and it's sad.
I feel like that's dehumanizing.
You think?
I think so. I think that you should.
And no, that's fine because listen, that's a struggle. We all have to go through struggles in life, which arguably we have to dehumanize ourselves in some capacity to actually break through and expand.
And
some things are worth to pushing off to the side. I'm not saying I'm going to avoid that. I'm just suggesting that perhaps maybe that's one of those things in life where you're just like, nah, I'm going to keep that right there and it's nice.
Because I
dust
feel
the
like
shelf,
there's
put
a
it
way
there.
to eliminate that. You know what I mean? I feel like there's
Sure.
a way to. No, I ain't gonna say I feel like, because I feel like means that I'm going into something with there's ways for me to be suggestively changed by that. I believe there's ways to eliminate that, because you don't put yourself in that predicament in the if you know how situations could go initially, if you have adequate tools to kind of like, hey, if this is happening, this is what's going on. If this is happening, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. You can prepare yourself or or remove yourself from a situation to not be able to not.
You remove yourself from it. I agree.
Yeah. There should not be a girl, unless you're a celebrity, that you should be in a dark room whacking your shit off to. If you have access to that person, if you have access, and this is going to sound fucked up, but if you have access to this person, right? You see this person every day. You see this person every so often. You can come and go and see that person. If you are out here whacking it off in the corner to that person because your fantasies and whatever shit, that's dehumanizing.
Fair enough. Now, I was using that as a dramatic example, but no, I agree with that. And there are most cases of that, and again, most of these come from my high school experience anyway, where your emotions go anywhere. Right. But most of my experience where I'd be willing to entertain that came from my high school experience.
You shouldn't be willing to entertain that.
Fair, but again, motherfucker, I was 16 years old. I was going to entertain everything, including myself, 3 times a night. I don't know what you're talking about to entertain yourself. You fucking kidding me? There's nothing left to do but entertain myself. What the fuck are you on about?
You're not 16 now.
When did you come over from high school? You come over from high school and be like, yes, mother, I'm going to go home and study. No, you're going to be like, in your room like, I need to fuck something. No, that's what I'm talking about.
You're not 16-year-old.
Exactly, that's my point.
So you don't have to put up with that shit.
And you're right, and I don't.
To get a nut off, bro.
You're right.
Different avenues. So you don't need to subjugate. Is that the right word? Subjugate. I think that's the right word.
It's
subjugate.
Subject,
you don't need to put
but
yourself in a predicament to where you have to sit here and go off to a dark ass room and fantasize about somebody.
Exactly.
You can go outside. Don't be an OnlyFans motherfucker. Don't go out here and paying for OnlyFans.
Fuck no. Who fucking
shit.
pays? Okay, I shouldn't say that. There's maybe been one or two. But that's not
walking a corner that you can pay $20
curiosity.
and get friction with.
I live in Stockton. I'm well aware.
All right, so there you go. You know what I'm talking about. Don't subjugate yourself to that type of pettiness, bro. I think it's petty because I think that you could. You are 6 foot what? 6'4"?
6'4". You're really attracted to height, aren't you?
6'4" dude. You're a 6'4" dude. There's tons of bitches out here that are sitting around here. I'm gonna get real raw right now. There's a hell of females that's out here looking for a dude who is 6 foot plus. 6 foot plus that you can. Yeah, bro, you're not an ugly dude. You're not an ugly dude. That's why I say.
Thank you.
That's why
I
I say to
appreciate
you,
that.
hey, we could go out to a bar, and I'm pretty sure you go home with somebody. I guarantee you that. Because you're a 6 foot tall dude.
See, Catherine, you stupid bitch!
But bro, I know what I know what I know a lot of what they're out of that profile. I don't fit that because I'm a 5'9" dude who's a little bit overweight who got kids. I got.
You got a CeeLo Green thing going on. Don't worry about it.
Huh?
You got a CeeLo Green going on. You don't worry about it.
I got gum shit. I got
CeeLo
gum
Green.
shit. So I'm good. I'm not worried about that part. But still, though, you should never put yourself in a predicament when you off in a dark room beating your meat trying to figure shit out. No, we're not doing that. We shouldn't have to do that shit. No.
You're right. I wish I could take this recording and go back to 15-year-old Brandon and just go, hey, man, you're better than that. You're better than that.
Hey, you never know, bro. In our lifetime, time machines may be invented.
That's a good fucking point. Ooh, we're tapping in. We're getting real close to another topic that I'm really
Trump
positive
putting in the
about.
infrastructure for AI, so we might figure it out here soon enough.
Yeah, as long as my Doge goes up, I'm okay.
But for
Okay, you can do
future
whatever you want.
references, you should never put yourself in that
I
predicament,
agree.
bro.
I agree because you need to know your worth. You should know your value. And you know what? If that bitch wants to be with you, she'll be with you.
Yeah,
Period.
exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
And I agree with that.
Hey,
And I
they
say
tryna
bitch
put
as
you
in a respectful way.
And they try to put you in the fucking friend zone. Hey, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm trying to bust a nut and keep it moving, bro. If you try to put me in the friend zone, that means I ain't never gonna get it. So I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time playing fish in a pond. I'm out here casting my reel and I ain't getting no fucking bites. No, I'm gonna keep fucking moving because there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Right. And I guess wrapping back to what I think started this and your point was my idea of just like I'm more open to the idea where you're like saying, nah, I'm not interested in that. And like me, I'm like, maybe I'll do this. Okay, I understand, but I'm just saying that's why. No, I'm just saying that's the energy that I came from. That's the upbringing that I came from.
No, and I get you.
And now here it
get
is in
you.
modern day.
But I get you. But I think that's what puts you in a nice guy category.
Oh, I'm absolutely a nice guy, and because I haven't had. But here's the thing: I haven't had the opportunity to experience the other way. I haven't had the opportunity to experience otherwise.
Why be the nice guy? Why be the nice guy?
Because I haven't had the experience.
Why be the knowledgeable guy who slides in?
But I'm not saying I'm that anymore. But just for the record, I have not had enough experience since that point to experience not being a nice guy.
Me and you, Brandon, we going out. We going out. We are going out.
Anthony!
Bro.
Anthony, he says I can get some bitches. You
I'm
think I
gonna be
can?
like, hey, I'm gonna put you in some situations. I'm like, hey, my guy over here, you think you cute? You think you should go talk to you? He want to talk to you. You gonna slide in there? You gonna be like, hey, how you doing? You gonna hit her with the most sublime ass shit. You gonna be like, hey, I'm good. I'm thinking, such and such, and bam, she gonna give you a yay or a nay.
I've already told you. I still got a couple inches here. You don't know what I got to unleash. I'm just kidding.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Never subjugate yourself to be some fucking, we should not be somebody that's subjugating ourselves to being in the room fantasizing when there's plenty of fish in the sea. Bro, it is, how many people? It's like 7 trillion or 7 billion people on this planet. We don't need to subjugate ourselves to that.
No, and that's the other part. Going back to a little bit about my glass half full perspective, because
we ain't talking about back then, bro. We gonna move forward.
We are, and that's what I'm saying. Moving forward now, I'm in a glass half full perspective.
We have well established where you're coming from. We're moving towards who we're gonna be.
Yeah, and who I'm gonna be. Yeah, you're right. And who I'm gonna be is someone who remembers who I am.
This podcast is gonna be about community and moving forward. We're not gonna sit here and dwell on the bullshit that happened and being used in the past. We don't give a fuck about that shit. That's just old news. We're moving forward now. We know what faults you had in the past, and now we're gonna move forward on the shit that you have learned. That's what we're doing.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what we're doing. That we're not gonna sit here and be playing with ourselves in the fucking corner and fantasizing. We're gonna be like, hey, if this chick don't want us, we're gonna keep fucking moving.
Oh, we gotta maybe keep a little bit of play with yourself, especially if you're single. I mean, if you're single, what am I gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm just kidding.
We're not gonna let them put us. Look. And I'm gonna sound super sexist, but a lot of the time, and I
can't wait
respect
for
women
this.
to death. I respect my sister over here being a mother. I respect my ex and everything, but at the same time too, I'm not gonna sit here and let no female put me in a position where I'm in a corner beating my meat, fantasizing about them. I'm not.
Fair enough. That's
I'm
good.
not. I'm
No,
not.
and that's good because now to show how much I've grown by this, because I can appreciate that I am the guy, and I know I'm the guy. Well, woman will beat the meat too. That's the difference, and that's something I'm not losing from the first time around.
So
And
we
Anthony, fucking pretty boy motherfucker over here, he knows he's got that
we
going
don't
on.
look like Anthony.
Even if he is fucking flossing, take the floss out of your mouth, Ramos. God damn it.
We ain't Anthony. Anthony is a good looking motherfucker. We gotta use
Oh
other
my God,
attributes.
guys.
We gotta use other attributes to sway things in our way, bro. We gotta use other things.
And that's how I've gotten this
Anthony
far.
got a good face card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got height. I got gumption. We gotta use our strong attributes, bro.
What is Gumsher, by the way?
Gumption is being able to talk. Cause you can put me anywhere. I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'm gonna get a friend. Or I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something out of the
believe
situation.
that.
Like Denzel Washington said, I'm gonna leave here with something.
I like that.
You know what I mean? I got gumption. I can talk.
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
how to talk. I know how to
Yes, you
fucking
do.
keep a conversation
You
going.
kept,
I know how to
you
fucking
kept us
dive
going
deep
for
and shit like that. We've been sitting here talking for two
3
and a
hours.
half hours.
3 hours, 10 minutes.
3 hours. 3 hours. So 3 hours. Come on now. I know how to talk. We all know how to talk. We just gotta use the fucking things that are applicable to each other, and use that shit to get what we want. You know what I mean? And it ain't gotta be malicious. It's just got we still gotta be genuine fucking people.
Yeah,
But at
and
the
learn and
same
experience, and then realize that I'm the same person that got dragged along by
you gotta get out.
Catherine
You
and
gotta get
the
out of
man
high school.
now.
You way. You
And
gotta.
I agree, and it's all things I'm aware of. But I'm just saying, in terms of my practical experience, what I've actually had the opportunity to experience, it's not been that so far.
Brandon, I'm gonna get Anthony to send me your number. Me and you gonna chit chat, and we gonna find some times where you can come up to SAC, and we're gonna go out. We're gonna go.
I don't know, Anthony. I might run into the wrong people up in SAC, huh?
No, you won't. No, you
Anthony?
won't. I won't let that happen.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
I won't let that happen. I'll make sure you are straight. Anthony could attest. I'm fighting everybody who's on some bullshit.
I appreciate that. Well, Anthony, you go ahead and I think you close us out at this point.
Yeah, close this shit out because we've been talking for too fucking long.
Dear
Come
Lord.
on. This has been the Meaningful Nonsense podcast. This has been Brandon, Anthony, and KP. We love that y'all sat here with us for the last 3 hours, 10 minutes, and listen to us talk shit. This is my daughter in the back. She better move her big ass head because we ain't nobody talking about her. Love, peace, and hair grease. I hope you have a good night. Be safe and drink joyfully.
Thanks.
Peace.
It's a good time.
Good times.
That was fun. That was fun, dude. I knew
Now
that.
we're not live.
I knew that. Great.